Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another special episode of the Wisdom Safe podcast. As always, I'm Ken.
I'm Hannah.
And today we have not one, but two special guests for our podcast episode today. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Erica. I've been here before.
Yeah.
But today we have the special opportunity to have Miss Norah on here. Do you want to say hi?
Say hi, Norah.
Say it. You can't just wait. They
Can't see you. They
You
have
gotta
to hear
speak
you.
into the microphone. Go, hello.
Hello. So Norah is our resident little one. We had a bit of a spontaneous idea, and I think we're gonna follow through on it.
Because I was gonna start my new weird series.
Yeah,
But I was like, I could start the series whenever. We
Don't
only have
worry.
Erica and Norah every here and again.
That's true. We have a series coming up. So important thing to know coming up. For the duration of this episode, there will be how old is she?
3.
There will be a
A
3-year-old
3-year-old.
child hanging out with us and just telling stories and riffing with us. So
Yeah, she'll be 3 in April. So.
oh yeah, true. She's almost 3.
Yeah. We just say she's 3.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Get it, girl?
But we thought that we might do the same thing we did previously in our first episode.
Yeah.
But do a little bit of a psychoanalysis on Erica and Norah.
Yeah, like a little guest star visit. Hello. She also does enjoy playing with my keys, so if I sound distracted at any point, that is probably what's happening.
If any of us seem distracted, it's probably because we have her.
That's true.
More likely.
But do not press the panic button on the car, though. maybe not that. Maybe
Not for today's event.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're basically gonna try to do. Miss Norah, I'm gonna need that string back, please.
Thank you.
We're gonna basically do what we did in the last episode, where we kind of talk about different, like kind of nerdy themes, psychoanalysis, and just some psychographic profiles. There are some that we probably aren't gonna be able to do in depth, or might
Or
have
they'll
to
like
skip
they'll be just done really quick.
yeah, like really basic,
A cursory
straightforward
visit
things.
to you.
Yeah. We can do that for you. It's probably pretty easy, but a lot of them, it's like you might not necessarily know exactly what they are.
Right.
So you might just have to agree with us.
This is mostly going to be us psychoanalyzing you. So
That's fine. I'm here for it.
absolutely. All right. So I guess since they already know the whole theme of this episode, since they already saw the last one, let's just jump right into it. Okay.
The first one.
The first thing we did on our Get to Know Us, this one's Get to Know Us Erica and Norah edition,
Yeah.
is their Hogwarts house.
Ooh.
So first of all, you have some information about this.
I know what mine is.
You know what yours is. Okay, curious.
You do know what yours is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It was toys.
It's toys? Yeah, that's your
It's
Hogwarts
toys.
house?
Yep.
Toys.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
I get it too.
I'm right there with you, girl. But that's the thing, is that like we can kind of ask her questions, and based on how she answers, we can get a pretty good
that's
sense.
good.
Like, okay, she's really interested in toys. Like that's what she's focused on.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean? What does that say about her personality?
Oh no, something happened. Oh, just cuddling.
Yeah. So what kind of questions do you think would give you answers?
Yeah.
Sand?
Sand?
Yeah.
Sand. Do you like toys and sand?
Oh yeah, I love
Are
sand.
you a beach fan? Do you like going to the beach?
Loves.
You love the beach? Wow, that's so crazy.
You adventurous?
Okay.
Okay, all right. Adventurous, good. Gives us an angle. What do we think for
How
her?
much do you like food? Lot.
But she doesn't like eating
But she
it.
doesn't like eating it.
I
Oh,
just
she likes to. Do you like to have the food more than you eat the food?
I love it.
I'm gonna
Yes.
go out on a limb and say that's probably
That
yes.
would be accurate.
Yeah, that would be correct.
I feel like she's not a Hufflepuff.
I agree.
No, yeah, I feel like the thing is like, and of course she is a 3-year-old. That this is not a this.
Yes.
She is not common enough to be Hufflepuff.
No, definitely not. And definitely not. This is gonna sound mean, but she's definitely not like aware enough of other people to care about them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
She's not gonna go out of her way
Which
to
could be like an age
help
thing
people.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3-year-olds are very me. Everything I'm doing is important, and everything I'm doing is concerning. And
Mhm.
like, I don't care if something happened to you.
Nora's got a lot going on. She's
Yeah.
very busy. She's got a lot.
She's a
to
busy
worry
lady,
about.
but she is very concerned with everybody else's happiness,
Ah.
especially first thing in the morning.
Oh, like wants to make sure everyone's happy.
Yeah, she always asks if we're happy.
How much does she Nora? Norah, how much do you like books? Lot?
Lots of like
Do
books.
you like writing? Yeah? How much would be gauged she really likes learning, or does she use the books as a distraction and not that?
Yes to that, but also she does
okay.
very much like learning things, and she's been trying to write out her alphabet a lot lately on her own. She'll
Okay, that's really good.
yeah, so she's super
Maybe.
smart, very advanced for her age.
Sure.
Like
That I realized too. She's like when she was a little bit younger, when I first started babysitting her.
yeah,
Oh, that's
She
not
see-
good.
like-
It's out.
She didn't look like she should be talking, but she was already talking.
yeah, and now she's talking in like full sentences. She's not even 3, and like
So Ravenclaw's a possibility.
I can see
yeah.
it.
How sneaky or cunning do you think
Very.
she is? Very.
Yeah, oh yeah. She, what was the thing she figured out that we were like, oh, the M&M thing. I don't know if I told you about this. So when we were potty training, we did the M&M every time you go to the bathroom.
I have heard this story.
2 if you go number 2, like whatever. So she figured out towards the end of the bag that because she's so independent and wants to do everything herself, that if she goes potty, tells Daddy she went potty, she wants an M&M, he'll give it to her, even if she didn't actually go. So she went in there,
Sneaky.
went potty, quote unquote, told Daddy she went potty, got an M&M, went and sat on the couch, and then peed on the couch.
Oh, no.
So not only did she pee on the couch, but you got a free M&M out of it.
There you go.
That's just creativity. That's all
And
I'm saying.
she's sneaky, she knows.
Yeah.
I am sneaky.
You are sneaky.
I am.
I know.
Oh, yeah, you're
You
very
don't have to
sneaky.
tell me, I know.
Yeah, you're
I
very
feel
sneaky.
like based on those questions and a few of the actions I already know from her, I might put her in Slytherin.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm low-key thinking Slytherin or Gryffindor.
Yeah, one or the other.
It depends, she's very concerned if everybody else is happy. That kind of, leans towards that. Maybe she's like, oh, I want to make sure everybody's good. I have to be, the group mediator.
She's very much like a Ron Weasley. To me.
Yeah, but also very independent as
Yeah.
well, and kind of wants to do her own thing. I think, and that's the thing is that, most of the Gryffindor comes from, she's, interested in learning stuff, but, we don't know how far that goes. She's sneaky, but, more in, a crafty kind of way.
Yeah, she's not doing it to be malicious.
Could be Ravenclaw,
Yeah.
but it also gives me, big protagonist vibes.
Mm.
So it could just be that she's like, oh, I have all these protagonist-esque qualities that Gryffindors tend to share.
Right.
I think she's Gryffindor or Slytherin. I think she's got the Harry Potter thing going on where she could be both.
I don't have keys.
I think
I don't
Hannah,
have keys.
I think
because-
Hannah wants her to be a Slytherin.
No, I feel like it could be one or the other.
Okay.
But to answer Nora's question, I don't have keys because I don't drive.
Oh yeah, I'm the one with the keys.
Uncle Ken has the keys.
I do.
Pull.
I want you all, at this point in the video, I want you all to guess what her star sign is. If you
Right.
know zodiac signs. And then
Yeah, I was
when
gonna
we
say-
get to that point,
Write the timestamp of when you guessed, because
Yeah.
I want to make sure you did it before we tell
Yeah.
you.
and then you will not be surprised.
Am I Harry Potter house?
Yeah, what's
Do you
your...
guys know what it is? I think you already know.
I don't know, personally.
I feel like you're a Hufflepuff,
I'm not.
but
Yeah, I don't know if I would have guessed Hufflepuff. I mean, I could see it, but I don't know if I would have guessed Hufflepuff.
the thing is I could see it, but also maybe less now. I think I'm thinking more of when we had the home life going on.
Right. So I was a Hufflepuff for a while, and then I retested, and I'm a Ravenclaw.
You're a Ravenclaw? That's what I would have
Ravenclaw.
guessed, yeah. That's what I would have guessed, I think. I would have guessed
That was my
Ravenclaw
next
and
guess.
maybe Gryffindor for you.
No, not Gryffindor.
Yeah, that was a stretch, I think.
I think the only Gryffindor we have in our house is Brandon.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that makes sense. Yeah, I would definitely see that.
Sit still, please.
2
seconds.
I don't want to.
No.
I disagree, actually.
Okay. So we got a potential Gryffindor Slytherin.
I think she leans a little more toward Gryffindor,
I think
to
she's
be
a little more
honest.
Gryffindor, yeah.
She's a
It's yet
little
to be
less...
seen.
We don't know. We don't know. You still have plenty of time
Oh, yeah.
to be just as crafty and...
To literally be any of them.
Yeah,
But that's our
true.
guess. We had the D&D alignment.
D&D alignments are... For Eric, it's easier.
You want to sit with Auntie Hannah?
I
Go
want
sit
to
with
meet-
Auntie Hannah.
Woo!
Wow.
Okay. So,
She's punching your mic.
yeah, she's punching me.
That's fine.
Sorry if there's any
Yeah.
punchy
I mean,
motions.
I feel like Nora's D&D alignment is easy in the sense that it's not really
Chaotic.
It's not really possible. Yeah,
Right.
She is a small child who is in the me phase of her development.
Yeah.
She is chaotic neutral. She doesn't have any interest in the concept of good or evil. It's not like she's not like.
I was gonna say I'd go for chaotic good.
See, that's what I was leaning neutral to good.
I think she probably will end up being more like I
She's
want
got
to
the
like
same alignment
help
as me.
people. Yeah, I think she's
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good to neutral.
chaotic neutral adjacent.
You want to build a snowman?
No.
Want to build a snowman?
She wants to know if you want to,
Right.
and then after that she's good.
You want to build a snowman? No. Okay. That's good because there's no snow anyways.
So cute. What about Erica?
But for Erica, that's a little more complicated because she is not a toddler.
I am not a toddler. Shocking enough.
Does mean we actually have to guess. Here.
I don't think Erica's lawful.
I could see
I mean, not that you're not lawful.
I was gonna say you're calling me a felon.
lawful and it's like a moral. It's not. It's an ethical axis. It's like, are you someone who like to the extreme extent? It's like, do you like obey and follow all of the rules, seeing rules as a thing that keeps society in order, or are you chaos in the sense of like people's individual freedoms allow human society to flourish?
Yeah. So I know there's chaotic, lawful, like just straight. Like
Neutral.
Neutral, yeah.
Yeah, neutral's just
then-
in the middle or unrelated.
Are there more than that?
No,
That's
it's
it. It's
lawful,
lawful,
chaotic,
neutral,
and
It's a
chaotic.
3x3 grid.
Okay.
Lawful, neutral, chaotic on one end, good, neutral, evil on the other. You
Okay.
combine the two together.
That's what I thought. I haven't looked at it.
Woof.
I think Urkel.
Urkel.
I think Urkel might be
Steve Urkel's on the podcast today.
neutral good.
Neutral good?
Yeah.
Let me read it.
Wow, that sounds boring as hell.
It means that when it comes to
Neutral
like you'll follow. It means that you're the kind of person who will follow rules when the rules, in your opinion, have a good purpose.
Yeah.
But you won't follow rules that you think don't have a good purpose or that are like specifically like malicious.
But ultimately, overall, you are a good person and not like.
Yeah. It means that law law and chaos don't factor into your decision. You look at things from a perspective of, is this a good thing to do?
Is this
And
right?
if so, then you aim towards that.
My hair's so wet.
Because I have eczema.
But
yes, I agree with you. That's why's my hand so red?
Oh, I thought she said wet. And I
No,
was
it's
like,
red.
Yeah, if I can read like a little blurb about it. For a neutral good person is it's referred to as the benefactor.
Okay.
A neutral good person does the best that a good person can do. They're devoted to helping others. They are willing to work with people in positions of authority, but they do not feel beholden to those people. It means doing what is good without bias for or against order and structure. You just kind of you judge good on a good case.
That's fair.
Mommy, what?
I think that
Just
makes
put it in my
sense.
mouth.
That seems reasonable enough to me.
Erica is currently eating a toy. I feel like that's pretty neutral good.
At the very least, oh, jeez. That's a big. This could turn into an episode of Griffin's Amiibo Corner.
Right?
Okay.
Oh yeah. Write the toy in your mouth.
Yeah,
Talk, Mommy. You have to
Yeah.
talk.
yeah. I'm like
That.
mouth feel 1 to 5. Like,
Oh, pokey.
it's a little pokey. All right. It's like what is it? It's Spike from My Little Pony.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Surprised
dragon.
you know that.
I have
This-
approximate knowledge of many
This thing
things.
lives in my house and I have no idea where it is.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Talk, Mommy.
What's next?
Oh,
Did we ever land on what you thought Erica was? Or did
Yeah,
we
I
just
think
go
she's
with
neutral
mine?
good. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me your mouth.
No, I want to keep it in my mouth. I have to talk.
Oh man, she straight up was about to like push that in your gullet. You want to eat this. I know you do.
Next we have color alignment, and Erica actually did the quiz on our
She
first
did.
episode.
I don't remember what I said.
I remember what you said.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of
I
everything.
literally have a running list in my Google Docs of every result that everyone I know has ever gotten. Because I like to psychoanalyze.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the episode.
Yeah.
So we've got
That's why it's
Erica's color alignment on record.
No, you know.
But I wanted to theorize about Norah potentially
Yeah.
because I wanted to let
Hers is
everyone
on
know.
record. It may have changed because I don't know what's going on in your life, especially with your
Ow,
recent...
you're pulling my hair. Stop.
Miss Norah.
No,
Norah!
the toy got stuck in my hair. She's trying to get it out, but yanking my hair. There you go.
Especially with a recent career change for you, that may have, like, any kind of, like, big event like that will often, like, change the way that a person interacts with their world. And so, like, that could have had an impact with the last time you took it, which was admittedly like 4 or 5 months ago, probably.
Yeah, I would say it was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So that would be, okay.
How long are these tests? Should I retake it?
They're pretty long.
Yeah, you won't be able to take it in the span of this. But yours was white, green, red.
Your belly.
Christmas.
What? Norah put the toy down my bra and then pushed it as far down as she could, and then she goes, "Now it's in your belly."
You're a goof.
Norah, have I mentioned that you're my favorite? I don't think that has been mentioned enough.
Yeah.
And it could serve to be said more. My
What
goodness.
you getting up?
I'm gonna sit like this for a minute,
Why not?
because you're being a cray cray banana. Don't push me off the couch.
It's like, what if I could, though?
Yeah,
I
chaotic.
could be more
Chaotic
powerful.
is correct.
Chaotic for
Chaos.
Norah is good.
So yeah,
I wanted to theorize about what we think Norah is.
I know
Okay.
that.
Even though it's probably going to be very easy for Norah. And then we'll go over what Erica got on her test.
What motivates Norah on a day-to-day basis? What are the things that interest her that she tablet
Technology.
screen time? Why screen
yeah.
time?
She loves watching those videos of kids playing with toys, which I don't understand, and cat videos.
Okay, so animals
She likes
is
to
fun.
be-
animals.
She likes to be entertained. She loves when people play with her. She's very social.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah,
You
social.
are social.
social.
Very good. Do you like watching people play with toys on the tablet? Well, why?
Because I like games.
Because you like games? You wish you were playing games with them too? Like you could hang out with people and play games?
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's your favorite thing to do, Norah?
Yeah, if you could do anything you want right now, what would you want to do?
Make gross mouth noises. Got it.
Make mouth sounds, go like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, you're doing good. That's a good job.
What is your favorite thing?
Got talking to you.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your favorite thing to do?
Hello. 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 Hello.
You gotta talk in it like this.
Hello.
This
You
is
say other
this is
things?
very cute. I apologize for the peaks, but this is very
I'm going
cute.
to go bicycles.
Gonna ride bicycles?
I'm gonna go ride
Ride
bicycles.
bicycles? Okay. She seems adventurous.
Yeah, she likes to do fun
She
things.
seems like when she goes to the tablet, it's because she wants to like
Right back to the key.
she wants to do something.
Honey.
Yeah.
Careful what buttons
Oh
you're
yeah,
pressing.
yeah. I'm gonna flip this over.
That's gonna be the
Pop in my trunk. It's not the end of the world.
the bingo
Oh well,
part of the
actually,
day.
all those soda bottles will probably pop out. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, it seems like she like her interest is like watching other people do fun things and like doing fun things herself. She seems like she wants to explore.
Yeah, as she's trying to start a pillow fight.
Yeah, which like
I would agree.
like kids. I mean, like that's kind of the riff is that kids tend to lean red because they're very like in touch with their own emotions in the sense that their emotions sort of rule them. Kids tend to lean towards red and also sometimes lean towards green, especially if they're like pets a lot.
Mhm.
That's
She's obsessed with the dog.
that's a pretty good sign that they're gonna end up like leaning more towards green, is if they have an attachment to
She
pets,
loves
especially
kitties.
humans. Loves kitties.
Loves kitties.
Our kitty is kind of scared of you. He doesn't
Oh,
understand
yeah.
kindness.
Bam.
Careful,
Don't
ma'am.
throw it.
You got to keep one hand on the pillow at all times. That's the pillow rule.
You're lucky this isn't Daddy's side of the desk.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be pretty rough.
Yeah, she loves Percy, but Percy's terrified of her.
Yeah,
for some
she
reason.
loves Nico. Nico's terrified of her.
Yeah.
She loves Chowder.
Chowder's terrified of
scared
everything
her.
that breathes.
Oh yeah, everything that moves and breathes she's afraid of.
So I'm assuming we're gonna go with a light red green for
I think it's red green. I don't see like it's easy to say like.
I mean,
no.
maybe blue. She's like crazy about learning, isn't she?
Yeah, she's.
She likes to learn through experience.
Sorry,
What happened?
I scratched you. Trying to catch you from bonking your head. Yeah.
She likes. Yeah, I do think maybe I see a little bit of the blue in there. I don't know if it's like physically
Too early
affecting
for
her,
blue or not.
but it seems like she likes to learn through experience.
Oh yeah.
You rubbing your eyes?
Can I go
on
in
her?
here?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, you can stand by the door if you want.
Yeah. We're just telling
Okay.
stories about you.
Don't do that.
do we want to do? Oh, we wanted to analyze your.
Oh yeah, Erica's color.
White, green, and red. I forgot exactly what the order for yours was, but like that color combination is it's one that is a little less in conflict with itself than most other 3 color combinations. Because like I mean, eventually you're gonna have at least. Oh yeah, you got it. Eventually you're gonna have like an enemy color that interacts with the other allied colors and then causes all sorts of chaos and inner conflict.
Right.
You do have one of those. Red and white are very much at odds with each other. So there's a side of you that very much likes order and structure and like organization and like has the end goal of like working towards a peace. Some sort of peace or harmony in your own life, and even if that requires you to make a little bit of self-sacrifice, the end goal is worth it. But there's also this red part of you that desperately wants to be free to pursue the things you want to pursue and like not be restricted by society's rules. And in putting those 2 things together, you find that sometimes a really hard decision may come across that puts you at odds with yourself. And you have to kind of choose. You have to choose a part of your own life that, like, that ultimately, like, you're going to be satisfied and unsatisfied in multiple different ways.
Right. Yeah. That would all be very true.
It's all very balanced, but like with those 2 colors, they're enemies, but they're balanced by that central color. They're balanced by that green. Green is very traditional. It's very family-oriented. You're the kind of person who, despite the inner conflict that occurs in your everyday life and the occasional like rebalancing of the scales as you try to like reinvent yourself from time to time, you do so with the understanding that there is some sort of central unit or binding force, some sort of like family element that you can go back to that's like a safe place that never moves. It's a stationary aspect of your life that is like a comfort zone that allows you to kind of explore the world and be a little crazy and do some things that maybe you might regret, but it's okay in the long run.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's
I might regret part.
Yeah, that's kind of how those interact. It's a color where like 2 parts of yourself are at war with each other, but there's this central balancing force that you're always working towards and striving towards.
True.
And usually with green, it takes the form of like a family unit, whether it's like a found family or an actual like blood family.
So what did we have Erica as? Sorry, I had to release Norah because it got hot in here.
As white, green, red. I think that's the most sense. Yeah,
I don't know the exact order. I was trying to figure out the order. Sorry, I was looking at my phone the entire time.
Oh, you're fine now.
You want something on TV? Hold on 1 second, baby. I was trying to figure out which.
We can still guess on Norah, even if she's decided to go watch something on TV. What are you going to watch?
Storybots.
You're going to watch Storybots?
Okay. I know about Storybots. I've been putting a bunch of Storybots books on the shelves at work.
Ooh. You want to watch some Storybots? Okay.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
Have fun.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which podcast episode it was.
It was episode 4.
4? Oh
yep.
my gosh,
your comments at the top of episode 4.
I was way off.
That was actually relevant in the last episode, which you haven't heard yet. Spoilers, we're recording out of order. But yeah, so to kind of reiterate on some of the things that I was saying now that Erica stepped out, she's unique in the sense that like she's a 3-color combination that's different from the 3-color combinations we've tested as before. Like assuming based on the information from the last podcast that I'm probably somewhere in the like white, red, blue area, if that's the case. I still think I might be white, green, red.
Yeah.
But and with yours, you would be in the red, green, but more red, green, blue area. Those 2 are referred to as wedges, where the colors on the color wheel are 3 points that meet instead of anything being next to each other, which means that your color combination is 2 allied colors? 2 allied colors and their shared enemy. And in a lot of ways, we are ruled by that enemy color of ours, and that has a weird interaction with us. Like some of my most dangerous impulses would be my red impulses, because I'm centered in white and blue, rational, reasonable, focusing on structure and order, and then there's this part of me that's just like, fuck it, let's do whatever we want.
Right.
I can swear now because a little one's not in the room. You are like red and blue are enemy colors. There's this part of you that's spontaneous and like gut leaning and emotional, and then this other side of you that's very like cerebral and patient and focused and always striving to like rigorously structure yourself towards a goal. And then there's the green that's kind of like that center point that just kind of like everything's zen, like everything's just chilling out. But Erica is kind of like there's enemies, and then they're mutual.
Friend.
Yeah, that like kind of like. But the thing is, like ours is 2 enemies though. That's the thing that makes it more interesting.
She only has 1.
Yeah, like blue.
None.
My blue is opposed by my red. My white and blue are opposed by my red. So, but red is the enemy of both of my other. I'm white and blue, and then red is their mutual enemy.
I see.
You're
red
and green, and then blue is their mutual enemy. So that's why that blue party you leave sometimes when push comes to shove and you're in a tough situation, that blue just kind of gets shoved to the side. You're like, I don't have the time and energy for that. But hers is a little bit more like balanced and centered.
Right.
Around like one kind of like middling force that holds it all together.
I see.
We're a little bit more spicy.
We're a little more spicy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Storybots is now on.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'm very excited for her and Storybots.
I don't know what Storybots is.
It's like robots that do fun things.
They do
yeah, so they live in a computer, and then they have a question from a kid each episode, and they have to go like find the answer to the question. And be like,
yeah, it's like teaching kids how to use search engines. In 30 minutes.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So yeah, next up was Pokemon type.
Yeah, Pokemon types.
Yeah. This one, I have that old listing up. What do we think?
For Erica and Norah?
Yeah. What type? Like, this is weird because we found you haven't heard this yet because you haven't heard the episode of the podcast.
Correct. But we found our typings.
Okay.
There is a website that has the types of each of the 17 Pokemon types. 18? A number of Pokemon types. And it kind of like ascribes a little bit of a personality profile to each of them.
Okay.
So, what do you think for her?
Without really remembering most of the definitions of them just right this second.
Right.
It might it might just be because Nora's a child.
Sure.
But she reminds me of like an Eevee. Like she can be anything.
What is normal?
Yeah, she's like
she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she's the Eevee. She could grow up to be any kind of type of Pokemon she wants. Like
normal types don't get the respect they deserve. You can say that they're bland and lack distinguishing characteristics, but the truth is they're very adaptable. They don't tend to veer into extremes. Unlike some other types, they aren't caricatures of a handful of traits. They're pretty even-keeled. Complex. Chit-chatting with a normal type is comforting and yet stimulating. They're the perfect new buddy.
She's a cute new buddy.
I mean, she is a cute new buddy.
Yeah, but she's not really like... I feel like there are definitely aspects of her personality that are very strong.
Yeah.
And normal is like Normal's very like chill.
Maybe she's like a fire type?
I'm saying she's not chill whatsoever.
Here,
Norah has 0 chill.
I'll read off fire type. Well, okay, you're fine. So... hold on. While Erica just stepped out for a second, what do we want to do? Hey, what's up?
I left the oven on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was like, I can still hear you. I was just about
to say, what do we want to do for her second type? But since you're back, we'll just start with this. So fire. This one I think might be pretty good. Whereas electric types fizzle and spark with erratic, inconsistent energy, fire types tend to give off a more steady, consistent heat. Confident and powerful, fire types can be intimidating and sometimes overwhelming to deal with. They speak at a high volume that makes everyone around them listen. If you cross them, you tend to get burned, and unlike short-fused electric types, a fire type won't quickly forget. Fire types are generally extroverted and somewhat sociable, though they may sometimes come across as a bit boorish or steamrolling. They feed on attention and company, and can develop big egos if not kept in check by having a sensitive water-type placement or a practical buzz-killing ground type.
Wow. That sounds like
Aries tend to be fire types, and many entrepreneurs and politicians are fire types. Also, this specifically calls out that Mariah Carey would be
that makes sense. She's
yeah, the
she's a monster.
Yeah.
The faces Erica was
the
making
most
the entire
iconic Aries
time.
of all time. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Fair.
I feel like Erica might be a water type.
I was going to say, I definitely think Nora's a fire.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're good at cooling her down, yeah. I don't know if like she's like old enough that we can really do a second type because she still has to do a lot to develop.
Yeah.
Fire seems strongest, yeah. Water, playful, adaptable, and reflective. Water types are easy to love. In the original games, water types were the best starters for new players to swim because they were effortless to learn how to work with. Similarly, water types are easy to befriend. They're good listeners, affable and empathetic. They also are fun-loving and tend to be very sweet, but in a measured way, not overwhelming or sometimes obnoxious like fire or flying can be. They have easygoing, loving personalities, but sometimes they can be mistaken for lacking intellect or intensity, which is an unfair assessment. Waters are sensitive and emotional, and it's on an emotional level that most of their thinking and processing occurs. They pick up on the energy that other people give off, responding to the needs of the situation or the setting. If they aren't careful, water types can tend to lose track of their real selves, or sometimes come across as lacking backbone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I was gonna say on like a Facebook quiz, it told me that I was electric and dragon, and I was like, so I'm an Ampharos. That's cool.
Yeah, there you go. That person's cool.
But I was like, I don't know if I'm spicy enough to be electric type for real.
Yeah, that's like electric type is like a very like an even keeled or not even keeled, like a very like sparkly energy.
Yeah,
It's
very
much
sporadic.
like
Yeah, that's not
burst and then burnout. Whereas like fire type is more of like a direct, like constant, like
constant heat energy.
Yeah, constant buzz.
And water is more flowy.
Yeah, I'd say that's
and that works for the two of you really well because then when Nora's like really getting up there, you're really good at being like, all right, let's roll it back.
And let's stop.
Let's roll it back. Yeah, that's perfect. I think that fits.
I don't know what kind Paul is.
Oh, what kind of Pokemon Paul is?
Yeah.
We could send you the whole list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to this so you can figure it out.
We should probably just put all the links to these things in the
Yes, I've kept most of these links as well, so this will go up in this description. You probably by now should have already seen it in the description of our previous video.
Not to mention that water types are very like creative, and Erica just started her little spell.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? We'll definitely
Her
put a
soap
link
business.
to your soap making business in the description of this video. Absolutely.
Spoke.
Yeah, it smells wonderful, and
good.
as predicted, as someone who is emphatically in love with the color purple, all the purple ones smell wonderful.
Well, they're all lavender.
Yes, which is precisely why they smell wonderful. It's one of the best smells in the world. So if you like the smell of purple, buy as many purple.
It's really funny too because everyone was like, if you make a lavender one, I'll buy it. And I was like, I hate lavender so much.
I love lavender so much.
The two, okay, so I made one failed batch of lavender soap, which Hannah's taking the bars for, because they smell fine.
Sure.
But they're kind of crumbly, and the recipe didn't exactly work the way I wanted it to. So we did it with like an original recipe that we know works and everything, so that's fine. But like the 2 times I've had to make lavender soap so far, I immediately took a nap.
Yeah, because it's really calming.
I'm so mad about it. Like, it took over the entire house. I
love
and
that.
I just wanted to take a nap, and I did.
Oh, is it dog time
now? We have a third visitor.
It's dog time on the podcast. Hi, Flynn.
Always dog time.
So what's the... Erica might be a dragon type, but...
Do you want me to read dragon?
Say read dragon type.
Dragon?
She's water. Try dragon.
She's a water dragon. What's a water dragon type?
Gyarados?
Nope, Gyarados water flying.
I thought it was... Oh, it's flying type.
I got water flying.
Weird.
And then when it mega evolves, it also does not become a dragon type.
What the fuck?
I don't understand. Sometimes they make decisions, and I'm like, you couldn't have done that, and that would have been fine. But they made Charizard a dragon type with its mega evolution, which was correct.
Which
but
is
Gyarados is like, it's a dark type. I'm like, why?
No.
Oh, yeah, this may not be you. I don't know.
I don't know.
No dragon type has ever been an even remotely normal seeming person. They seem to operate on their own plane of existence, with their own system of morals and values. Their politics are weird and self-contradictory, and they'll do things that confuse you even years into knowing them. They tend to even speak like they're from another planet. Stubborn, yet perpetually happy, dragons refuse to grapple with your criticisms of them. Unlike the very self-consciously weird fairy types, dragons live their weird lives without any care about whether other people notice. They tend to be reclusive and somewhat self-contained. Because they're so resolute about doing things their own way and feel no need to explain it, they don't tend to make good long-term partners for most people, friendship or relationship-wise. However, if you can give them the space they need to forge their own quiet, druidic, odd lives, you can learn a great deal of wisdom from them. High-strung, socially anxious types can learn a lot about detachment from people-pleasing by observing their dragon friends. Dragons also tend to be into industrial music, especially with synthesizers, and for some reason really into conspiracy theories.
I mean, the conspiracy theories is the only accurate thing about that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, I don't know if this is
And, like,
you.
I'm into them, as in, like, I find them fascinating. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I knew a couple people in high school who this is like 100% it.
Oh, man,
they
no.
were very much like this.
So
That
at
is
least
very much
for
not.
right now, we're stuck on water type for you.
I think you're a water type. I can see it. Do you think there's anything else off the before we move on that you think could like possibly fit her?
Fairy?
Fairy's also weird, but in
We
a
already went
different
over
way.
fairy for me.
Fairy's in like
Okay.
a weird spacey way.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're
You
like
know
super...
who's a fairy type?
Who?
Luna Lovegood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else right this very second
Yeah.
that like seems like it super fits.
Right.
Yeah. I think water seems pretty reasonably fair.
Yeah.
Unless there's anybody obsessed with like true crime podcasts on there.
Who tends to be obsessed with true crime broadcasts? Not anything that gets spelled out at least. I think there's probably a few types that would be interested in that kind of thing.
Okay. What about your bending elements?
Yeah.
Do you know your bending element?
I don't.
You could probably lean towards it. What?
Well, like I said in the last podcast, a lot of people, when they're like, "Oh, what kind of like bender are you?" They'll either go by the less popular option of checking the shape of your hands, because there's the 4 hand shapes for the elements.
Yeah.
Or
the most common.
the most common way is they'll check the element for your astrological sign.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a reflection of how in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe, everyone's born into a nation,
Right.
and that nation determines what element you'd be able to bend if you can. It's kind of like that, like some aspect about your birth has some sort of destined
Element
to who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that makes mine a little confusing because my astrological sign is an air sign technically, but also the water bearer.
Well, the thing was,
that's
is
a weird one. Yeah.
oddly enough, like, wrongly, I suppose, I always just assume that, that Aquariuses are water.
sign. I do the same thing.
And even people that are air signs, I'm like, they're water signs.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's an air water. I'm basically the fucking beach.
Yeah.
So, like...
It's just a water sign.
Yeah.
Like, why would you make it an Aquarius, like a water with an air sign? Like, the water bearer is an air sign.
They
Well, we
did
didn't have
that-
anywhere else for this to go, and you're at the end, so, like, we have to pick something.
They literally just did it to confuse us.
Yeah.
It's like just us.
I mean, how do you do the hand thing?
Like, that's the thing, too, is because my hand doesn't fit my element.
Oh.
Like, mine is very square. The fingers match the size of my palm.
Match.
Like
Lengthwise?
the same length.
Okay.
They're all, like, the same. Like, they don't taper at all.
Oh,
They're,
mine
like,
do.
hands are very square.
My middle finger does. Nothing else does.
And so, like, I have an earth hand.
Okay. So I assume I would also have an earth hand.
Right. And, like, Ken has, like, I'm pretty sure you have, like, I think it's fire because the fingers are a bit longer. But it's not very skinny, so it might be a water hand or something like that. I don't go by that for the most part. Like, you can have different,
Yours would be an earth hand?
Yeah.
Do you know what your moon sign is? For
I don't.
Astrological? Because if I'm fire and I'm an Aries moon and you're earth hand and you're a Taurus moon, what's her moon sign? Because does that line up with her hand too?
That one mine or Nora's.
This one is yours.
Okay.
You have a Capricorn moon.
Capricorn is what kind?
I can
I'm
check.
very curious. Because I wonder.
Capricorn.
Is this water sign?
It's a water sign?
Yeah, it says Capricorn water sign. In the Google search bar. I don't know if it.
Element Earth.
Element Earth.
Oh, it's an earth sign?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you said you have an earth hand too?
Yeah.
So you both have earth hands and you have an earth moon.
And you have a water hand and you have...
I have a fire hand.
Oh, fire hand.
Well, I mean, it could be water. I think you were between the two, but I thought you said it was a fire hand.
I thought so because it's thinner than it is long. So I think it's a fire hand.
Okay.
But,
Because then I have a...
Well, I don't really know what water hands look like is my one main caveat.
I see. So it's tentatively interesting coincidence.
Right.
Yeah. That your secondary sign has to do with your hand shape.
I am definitely not a firebender. I don't have any. I'm so an earthbender. It hurts.
But I think Nora's a firebender.
Nora's absolutely, well, it's convenient because that is her sun's sign. She's a fire sign, so it makes
She
perfect
is
sense.
spicy.
Yeah, she's very spicy. She's very
Spicy.
She's very when she gets her mind on something, it's happening. She's
Oh,
just
yeah.
going for it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And
Like-
if it doesn't happen, we cry.
Yeah. Well, that's like the main thing. I was waiting for Ken to finish a sentence when she wanted to leave the room because she came over. She's like, I want to go out. I was like, okay, give me a sec. 1 sec. I was waiting for Ken to stop talking, so I could be like, I'll be back, and then leave. But then she came back. She goes, I need to go outside now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, it needs to happen immediately.
She doesn't wait for anybody or anything.
I was like, 1 sec.
She operates on her own schedule. She's
And
got her
then-
own things.
Ken was still going, so like, she's like, I still don't want to be in here.
Please let me
And I was
go.
like, okay. So I handed Ken my mic and I left. She went running and she went and got her cereal and came back. She's like, I want to watch a show. We're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like Saturday, Grandma and Grandpa were picking her up, and we were like, okay, 4 o'clock, you're getting picked up. 10 o'clock, she's like, are they on their way yet? And we're like, no, 4 o'clock they'll be here. And like 10:15. I can't wait for them to be here. Okay, well, it's 10:15. It's still going to be another,
I wasn't even like, I can't wait for them to be here. It's like, I cannot wait.
yeah. And then I was
This
like,
is too many minutes.
all right, you have 5 hours and 45 minutes. And like 5 minutes later, she's like, are they here yet? And it's like, no, girl, we got to teach you how to tell time because we aren't even close.
Oh, yeah. The time always felt so much longer when you
I was
were a
going to say,
child.
when I was like fucking
15 minutes
like,
is an eon.
even when I was 12, Mom's like, we're going to wait a half hour till we go. And I was like, that's forever.
I used to think that, like, East Hampton was the literal opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
When we got into the car and went to Pumpkin Town and Halloween, I was always like, wow, we're going on a long trip. It was like 8 minutes from
Well, that
my
was like
house.
Middletown for us when we were kids.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, this ride is taking forever.
Or even when we used to live out in the woods, we would go to East Hampton. Yeah, for like McDonald's. And we're like, oh, we're going to go on a big drive.
Yeah.
We're going to go to
This
McDonald's.
is a big deal.
Yeah. Like, leaving the hole in the ground we lived in was a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's a major change up. That's funny.
Yes,
Oh,
dear.
hello.
Hello?
Welcome inside, Norah.
Hello.
How are you?
What's going
Yeah,
on?
that's-
How's your
That's-
goldfish?
You still have some. Can you finish those first?
Yeah.
You gotta finish those first, then we can get more, okay?
Yeah, because once you finish those, then you're empty. So then you got to refill.
Yeah.
Them's the rules.
Did you just fart?
Ah.
Yeah.
She'll own it.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, she's
me
proud of
too.
it. She's
Oh,
proud
yeah.
of it.
She was sitting on my desk on
That's a fire
Friday
sign, baby.
night, and I was painting her toenails, and she let one rip. And she's like, I tooted on your desk! And I'm like, I know, I was here.
Unlike our nephew Tyler, who I threatened to fart on his pillow because he said he was going to fart on my pillow, and then he cried.
Oh no,
No, she
like,
do this.
bro, you gotta,
Stop doing that!
bro, you gotta back it up. Like if you say you're gonna follow through, I will.
I'm like, bitch, I was
will-
fucking, I'll come for him. You think
I know you're a toddler, but I will come for you.
Yeah.
don't matter
Oh,
to me.
goodbye, dog.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, dog. Oh,
What was next after bending? We pretty much settled fire.
yeah, fire
and
for
air
Norah.
or water.
Water for
yeah,
Erica.
I see it.
I don't care if they say that Aquarius is an air
No,
sign.
I think
Wrong.
water seems more reasonable.
You're not done. You still have a couple more.
D&D class and race.
Yeah, D&D class
That's
and race.
complicated.
I was gonna say this one you're gonna have to guide me on because I have no idea.
The only time that I'd ever
It's a
made
little more freeform.
a character for Erica, she was a half elf.
Dark
Okay.
or moon elf.
You're a moon elf.
Oh, yeah, because like elves in D&D, like as a character archetype, tend to represent a more like a more like surreal kind of self. Like they tend to be very like not like spacey. I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of is exactly.
I don't know what you're thinking of either.
Moon elves are more like,
I got in my pocket.
You done with your crackers?
oh, so she gets more crackers. That's the
Yeah.
rule. Moon elves are more like I guess kind of like how like Lord of the Rings elves are, like a little bit like
Elegant?
like elegant, more detached from the world. It may come across as a little bit more like cerebral, or a little bit more like.
I can't remember what class I had you. I think I had you as a rogue.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
She would make bombs. And...
crafty and sneaky. I get it. I can see that.
She's only a half elf.
Yeah. Would that make sense in real life? Do you think that she thinks she'd be a rogue in real life?
It might have at the time, but I don't know anymore about that.
Yeah.
She really probably isn't good for mine.
What do you like? What do you think? What do you think is your like? What do you think is your best attribute in terms of like your physical strength? Your not that. That narrows it down.
My body strength is weak.
Because a class will tend to lean towards a certain ability, like set of abilities.
Okay.
Like my wisdom is high, but my dexterity is low. So
Yeah.
as much as I would love to be my favorite class, I can't be.
Yeah. You're clumsy and you fall over yourself, but you're very, very wise and perceptive and kind of like aware of the world around you. Dexterity, so like your hand-eye coordination, your like
Bad.
No, okay.
Not good.
I'm sensing maybe she's a mage of some kind. Constitution, so like your like physical durability, your resistances to illness, your hardiness. Like
She's really allergic to a bunch of stuff.
I was gonna say I don't get sick often, but I'm allergic to a lot of things.
Okay.
So I'd say like mid-range.
Yeah, like
she's not sickly,
average.
but she's
Right. Yeah.
Probably average then. Okay.
I get sick like once or twice a year, and then otherwise I'm fine. And then
unless she eats a peanut,
yeah,
then she's dead.
Unless I decide to eat peaches randomly and then have an allergic reaction in the middle of Lyman Orchard, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yikes. Let's see. Intelligence would be the next one. That's like your book smarts. That's your like
Smarter than me.
Studied knowledge.
Yeah.
Your like ability to learn new things comes from intelligence and like learning new things quickly. Your ability to like organize and
I mean, she went from having not a soap company to having a soap company really fast.
That's true.
I'm also
in my lots of mental stats actually.
In my advanced age, I've become a lot more organized.
Sure.
As a person.
So that's intelligence. Wisdom is more like your street smarts. Wisdom is your common sense. It's your ability to like perceive things going on in the world around you. It's your ability to perceive other people's emotional states.
I think that's pretty high.
Yeah, it's your intuition. Intelligence is intellect. Wisdom is intuition.
Okay.
And then charisma is just like your force of personality. That's your charm.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm very charming.
Okay.
Her stats are probably similar to mine, but is your intelligence or your wisdom higher?
Wisdom would imply, because like with none of the physical stats, it's got to be like a pure caster. Low charisma means probably not warlock or sorcerer or bard. Intelligence would only be wizard or artificer, but artificer tends to be like, that would be someone who's like very like hands-on with everything that they do and focused on like a craft. Which kind of, like, I could see that a little bit.
Yeah.
There's elements of like wizard to that too, but
what do you think's better out of your?
But then, like your wisdom, your intuition would be like would lean you towards more like either like a druid, like someone who's very like shamanistic or natural.
See, I feel like
or a cleric, someone who's like very, like strong faith in a like not necessarily like a divine, but like a higher power, like something above themselves that they strive towards and try to like use to interact with the world around them.
Yeah, I feel like my wisdom is much higher than my intellect because I'm a dumb shit sometimes.
Sure.
Like when very common sense like book learning things happen, and I'm like, no.
Well, see, but that's the thing is that's where it trips people up. That's ascribing to different things. Your wisdom kind of governs your common sense and intuition more, whereas your intelligence is like someone who has high intelligence but low wisdom is the kind of person who like they know a lot about things they've read about, but when they encounter something new, they're frozen. They know it. Like, if it's something I've studied, I understand it intrinsically, but I can't adapt well to new things.
Gotcha.
Whereas someone with a high wisdom but a low intelligence may have a hard time studying or may not absorb information as well, but when they're encountering new things, they can pick up things really quickly.
I feel like that the latter is
more higher wisdom, lower intelligence.
Yeah.
I think she's probably a cleric.
Because I pick up things quick.
A cleric?
I think she's probably a cleric, yeah. There's nothing else that's really high wisdom.
Except for druids.
She could be a druid, yeah.
So I suppose it's between cleric and druid. What would be the defined differential? Well, don't clerics also have to have a high strength? Not always, but
no, clerics can be like if you want to. Like, it depends on if you're playing. Like, if you're playing actual D&D, if you want to be like a war cleric, you have to like strap on heavy armor and stuff. But like a cleric can kind of get by.
Also, I don't know if Eric is like
force of will.
I don't know if Eric is like really down into like
Clerics.
nature and animals.
Yeah.
I
Clerics.
like nature.
Yeah. Clerics.
Maybe a circle of the land cleric.
Maybe like you're.
I'm a circle of the moon cleric.
Yeah.
Animals.
You like animals. You're all about animals.
I like animals, but I like them from a distance.
Did I say cleric twice? I meant druids.
Druid, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Erica's like just a circle of the land. She's way more like spellcasty and like way more.
Yeah, way more like stay
Mhm.
back, sort like handle things at a distance. You have like some carved out little part of the world that you like seek to protect, and that you kind of like draw your inner strength from that.
Yeah.
Just a different type of druid.
A little
Yeah.
slice of home. Yeah.
For race,
That's good.
I'm not 100% sure. I would say tiefling, but then everyone's gonna think you're a lesbian.
Oh,
Well.
because making a
No, they're half
tiefling
right.
character is a gay rite of passage.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally forgot that you're not straight.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Pansexual BB.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow. This is like a whole thing. That's
I'm
cool.
very straight presenting because I'm with a man, but like.
Like you're getting married, so like I'm like just straight now.
Yeah.
But
Oh
that's
man,
not right.
it's funny how we erased that in
No,
ourselves.
Paul, I got
too.
girls
Like,
together. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm just right here and right now, and I'm not thinking about all the people she's dated before.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So, that people say that to me,
I can
like,
see- I can
I do that
see
for me.
it.
I'm like, people are like, you, no, not if you're straight. And I'm like, damn, I'm straight. Wait, no, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's very confusing.
Wait, no.
But like
Yeah.
when you have a
Hi,
straight
Miss
presenting
Norah.
relationship, and you're like, no, like
Hello.
trans people, hot. Regular people,
What do you
hot.
do?
Like,
What do you
I mean, not
do?
that trans people aren't regular, but like,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
like,
like
cis
not-
people,
yeah.
hot. Trans people, hot. Non-binary, hot.
Everybody.
Don't care. Everybody could be hot. Like,
It just depends on who you are.
Hi. What are you
it's
doing,
just like
crazy
I found
pants?
my person in a man, and there we are.
Yep.
So that's it.
I think Erica might be a tiefling circle of the land druid.
I was kind of leaning tiefling too. There's like
Because they can be all these pretty colors.
yeah,
and,
tiefling
like,
are all about like
they're very
it's-
expressive, and I feel like that matches.
I feel like a tiefling would be a good representation for a person who either has a lot of unresolved trauma in their life. Hello, thank you. She's like just got her hand on
She
my
likes
face.
petting beards.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. You're welcome to do that.
If you haven't noticed by now, Norah came back. She crawled into Ken's lap, and she's petting his hair and beard.
Yeah, she's like, well, you have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Daddy has a beard, so she likes the
Oh, yeah.
the petting of the
I
beard.
get it. That makes sense. That's why I keep it.
What?
Yeah, it's just a thing. I like it.
Some boys have beards.
You like Uncle Ken? My tablet.
But you have storybots on TV. Do you want the TV off and you want tablet instead? Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to go take care of that
okay.
for you,
Yeah,
kiddo.
Well, we'll think about what Norah might be.
Yeah, what's Norah?
Start talking about.
Oh, no, you can't pull me with you. I'm stuck to the chair.
Norah,
I got important things to do.
you like Uncle Ken?
Oh, she's like, don't put me on the spot, lady.
What do you think?
Nora, are we friends?
She's like giving him the like Pennywise look.
Yeah, she's really,
that
yeah.
face. I don't
Yeah,
like
I don't know what that face is. I think it's very fun. Nora, you're my favorite.
Wow. Okay.
You're my favorite.
She feels some kind of way about you, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
She feels like she's embarrassed to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah, she's
he's
like.
cool. I like him a lot, but I don't want to tell him about it.
Also,
I don't
don't
want him
forget
to
to
go to
put
his
me on the
friends.
spot.
Do you like Uncle Ken? You like Uncle Ken?
We know that she does because
Yeah.
you're talking about him the whole way in the car.
Yeah,
but-
me and Nora are best buds. She just can't handle it. She
She
can't.
doesn't
admit it.
want the
That's
She
fine.
pressure.
likes him so much she can't.
Yeah, she can't deal with it. It's just too much.
Hey.
I get it. That's fine.
She
I'm
goes, I know
pretty
you're
cool.
recording. I don't want to say it on record.
Yeah. She's like, you're going to use that against me. She's like, I know 10 years from now you're going to turn around and be like, oh, well, yeah, you can't even be mad at me because we're best friends.
Yeah.
So, and she'd be like, you got me every time.
You like Uncle Ken? Can I have an answer, please? Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're buddies.
There you go.
Love you too, Nora.
Very small. Let's see.
Yeah, what do we think for her? Tiefling makes so much
She's a
sense.
little baby NPC. You can't take classes until you're older.
Yeah, it's true. She's a human. Yeah, she's a commoner right
Yeah,
now.
she's got a commoner
She's got
stat.
4 hit points, which means she would likely lose a fight to a house cat,
Mm.
Probably.
which is
She often has.
that's kind of a joke. In D&D, like
Yeah.
house cats deal enough damage that they can probably beat up your regular average farmer.
Can you go sit in the living room with that?
So that would be where she's at right now. Charlotte.
So she's a little commoner. But let's see, what could she be? So she wouldn't have a
Charisma's
class.
high for her.
She's got a high charisma.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
big
sure.
force, which that could also mean that maybe she's a race that has a charisma boost.
A race with a charisma boost?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
one? What's that?
Elves.
Elves?
Could be, yeah. Elves.
She's small.
What's the other one? Gnomes. Tieflings have a charisma
Little
boost.
gnome.
Should be a little gnome, yeah. Well, gnomes tend to be more like, they're like creative,
Yeah.
like very like hands-on, kind of tinker with the world around them. Forest gnomes are the same thing, but with pets. Instead of like tinkering with things, they're just like, I want to have a small menagerie of tiny creatures, and these are my best friends in the world. Yeah, the forest gnome is like the little kid who runs out into the woods and collects frogs.
What about halflings? They don't get a charisma boost, do they?
They don't get a charisma boost necessarily, but there's at least two, like, Lightfoot halflings are a little bit more like, they're kind of wily and trickstery. They have, like, unnaturally good luck, and they're really good at, like running around and hiding under stuff, and, they tend to be very, like, they tend to bounce back quickly from things, whether they be rough situations or just like falling and smacking on your face. You just kind of tumble over and you're like, oh,
Well,
hey.
she's done that before.
Yeah.
More than one occasion.
Being a child,
Yeah. Stout halflings are the more like tough, like the rough and tumble kind of halflings, but Lightfoot halflings are more of like the traditional like Hobbit-esque character. That's like a Bilbo Baggins would be a Lightfoot halfling.
Does like frogs.
Like frogs. She could be a forest.
Frogs and coloring and...
I was gonna say, forest gnome sounds right for her currently.
Yeah, I mean, like, people, like, that's the thing, is, like, this isn't, like, this is what you are, like, this is a fantasy setting.
Right.
So, like
if
this
you
is,
were
like,
going to take place in a D&D game right this very second that she would be,
this
that's
is
what I would
kind of the archetype that her current personality expresses.
That's probably what I would pick for her. I'd make her a tiny little...
She's like a little forest gnome.
Little
She
forest
likes to
gnome
run out
child.
into the woods and speak to moles.
Makes sense.
Because they can talk to moles and frogs and stuff.
Yeah, she loves the frogs out in the pond. We have hundreds of them.
Okay, I feel that.
Well, she always wants to be outside, especially when the weather was good.
Yeah, and she would always like ask you to go out on the deck.
She
She could
loves
splash in
being
the
outside.
pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she wanted to be in control of the hose 24/7.
Okay.
She wants to throw the ball for the dog. Like, she wants to go on a walk around the house,
Just to
even though
watch the
I
dog
don't
catch the
want to
ball.
because it's humid.
Right.
Like,
I see it. I think that works pretty well.
I think that's good for her.
All right. So the next one, this is complicated. Next one's Myers-Briggs type.
Oh, the Myers-Briggs
Oh,
type.
yeah. I
We
tried to
know
pull it.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we will know yours once you pull it
I
out.
was going to say, I know that you did it because you literally
Can we
are the
even-
reason I did
Can
mine.
we can guess out the letters for Norah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
but like we won't be able to get a comprehensive interpretation of her personality because she's still too young to really have had like the life experiences that connect with some of those. Yeah. But we can definitely make a get like between introversion and extroversion for Norah. What do we think?
She's an E.
Easy, yeah. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
for sure. She's like she acts shy sometimes, but it's just because she wants the
Well, it doesn't mean she's
conversation.
introverted. She's
Yeah.
just shy.
The conversation has to be on her terms. That's what it is.
Is it all between EISNTF and JP?
Yes.
Yeah. ESTJ and INFP are the two opposites.
Yeah, so she's definitely an E.
Yeah.
So
Which
sensing or intuition?
Yeah, the way you take in information, either sensing or intuition.
I think she's an S.
Yeah.
Sensing.
Sensing is you perceive the world around you and draw context clues from that. Intuition is I like okay.
It's like I know what things are supposed to happen.
Sensing
this way.
sensing is more charisma. Intuition is more wisdom.
I see. So
It's an internal understanding of the world around you, or an external understanding of the world around you.
Yeah.
So the way she makes decisions by thinking or feeling, I think right now should probably be an F, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would say it's mostly feeling like I feel like I should be doing this right now, or I feel like I want this.
That might
That's
change
how it
as she gets
Yeah.
older.
And
but-
learns to use critical thinking. But
Right.
right now she's on F.
Yeah. And then how you deal with the world, either judging or perceiving.
I feel like it'd be P. She doesn't really have like the critical thinking she needs to judge currently.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, sure, she could probably do it a little, but like not as much as I think she needs to register a J on the test.
Right.
So that would be what?
Yes.
ESFP?
ESFP.
Yes.
Click on this one here. and see if we can pull that up. See what that looks like.
The entertainer.
That's
her?
the entertainer?
Mm-hmm.
I
Spontaneous,
see.
energetic, and enthusiastic people. Life is never boring around them.
Yeah, I feel like she's maybe a little bit of life of the party.
I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure.
Oh, no,
The
girl.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Marilyn Monroe.
I see it. That makes sense.
That was a quote from her. These people love vibrant experiences, engaging in life eagerly, and taking pleasure in discovering the unknown. They can be very social, often encouraging others into shared activities.
It was E. It was E.
I'll say it was the bottom.
She's the entertainer.
Yeah, down bottom.
ESFP?
Last one.
Oh, 'cause she's one of the explorers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Little lady with maracas.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's to be found spontaneously breaking into song and dance, it is the entertainer. Entertainers get caught up in the incitement of the moment and want everyone else to feel that way too. No other personality type is as generous with their time and energy as entertainers when it comes to encouraging others, and no other personality types does it with such irresistible style. Oh, so she's like dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Insight of the day. Entertainers are the least likely personality type to believe their country is superior to others. Because
Oh, wow.
I don't know it exists.
That's pretty funny.
That's fun.
Huh.
That sounds like her.
The biggest challenge entertainers face is that they are often so focused on immediate pleasures that they neglect the duties and responsibilities that make those luxuries possible. Norah.
Yup. Wow, absolutely get dunked on.
Yeah,
But okay.
I was saying,
Reader
I feel like
for
this is spot on for 3-year-old Norah.
Yes.
That's perfect. Yeah, and the thing is, like, she might change.
It
but, like,
will probably change.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I find, like, that actually fit surprisingly way more than I thought it would. I'm really impressed at how well the Myers-Briggs personality test is able to, like, identify these core aspects. Or it's maybe either that, or it's, like, I'm kind of more impressed at how tiny little humans are able to express so much of their existing personality with a very limited framework.
Yeah, I would say, like, there's, 8 letters total?
Yeah.
And it's either, it's for this or that questions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, there's only 16 types of people, and they all explain them so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like even with her at such a young age, it's like it's so easy to
So
get a
easy to get
sense
it.
of who she is. But I think it's because so much of her personality shines through, because I think people are just like that. Like, their personalities really do just manifest even at a very young age.
Yeah.
And especially when they have less stuff to interact with their world with, it's like all they are is their thoughts and emotions.
Yeah. It's funny, at the very bottom it says, entertainers you may know: Elton John, Marilyn Monroe, Jamie Oliver, Adele, Jamie Foxx,
Hell
Steve
yeah.
Irwin, Miley Cyrus, Adam Levine, and Ygritte from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, Ingrid!
Huh.
That's pretty crazy.
So do you know yours, Erica?
I do. I actually, if you scroll up, I am the mediator.
The mediator.
Oh, an INFP. Okay.
INFP?
There's me.
That's funny because Ken is an ENFJ and I'm an INFJ.
Yeah, so you're like
Only
in the
one
middle.
off.
We're all diplomats. That's funny. Yeah. A mediator is someone who possesses the introverted, intuitive, feeling, and prospecting personality traits. These rare personality types tend to be quiet, open-minded, and imaginative, and they apply a caring and creative approach to everything they do. On the outside, INFPs may seem quiet or even shy, but they often have vibrant, passionate inner lives. Because they make up such a small portion of the population, people with this personality type may sometimes feel misunderstood or out of step with the world. Fortunately, their caring nature can help them create and sustain deep relationships with their loved ones. Mediators value authenticity, empathy, and harmony. These personalities tend to act with the best of intentions, and they're rightly proud of this trait. That said, they may feel isolated or discouraged when other people don't share their... Scrolling down.
Sorry, there's 2 fucking screens.
That's okay. When other people don't share their idealism. It's actually a J.R. Tolkien quote for them. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. So there's someone who's very like... It's like a quiet zen...
Mediators are the most likely personality type to buy a pet that would be with them for decades.
That makes sense. I see that. So in terms of difference between me and her, I'm J instead of P, right?
No, that's me.
I was gonna say you guys are
You're
both
an
J's
E.
and you're an E.
Well, I'm ENF. No, but I'm ENFJ.
Yeah.
So we have two that are different. We
Yeah.
have one that are different.
Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Hannah's more judgmental than I am perceptive, and you are more extroverted and perceptive than I am.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, you have more. Or no, you're more. No, you're more. You're.
I'm introverted and perceptive. You're extroverted and
judgment.
judgy.
Yeah.
And I'm judging and introverted.
I do tend to be a little judgy in my worst sometimes. I will.
That's fair.
That.
I'm a judgy person sometimes, just in here.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little more out with it. I'm just like, okay.
Okay, so next one.
So that's Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs is the best name. We're definitely different.
I'm shocked we got through that so fast, especially for her when she can't take the test or
Right, you just were able to nail it.
Yeah.
Well, we're also probably gonna do a whole episode on this stuff, and read our whole thing.
You have to include me on that one because I'm the reason you know about it.
I know, Erica's the only reason I did these tests in the first place.
Oh, we're gonna of course.
Yeah.
Of course we will.
But
we're gonna have more. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, and if you're gonna be here, I will too. So
that's another thing. We're gonna have more guests this year, in case you all didn't know.
Maybe more Erica guests, probably. Maybe another Norah guest, but we'll see.
She can make it for about 20 minutes and she's done.
Which is what I expected.
Yeah. I didn't think we were gonna get her in here for an hour.
But I'm sure Paul also will like to.
Oh yeah, we can finally get Paul on.
He listens to half of them with me, and he makes comments about it, and I'm like, why don't you just listen to it and comment on it yourself?
Yeah, we can get Paul in there. So we got 4 left. Do we want to do Sailor Scout?
Depends. Does Erica know about Sailor Moon?
I haven't watched Sailor Moon since I was 7. So I don't know a whole lot about it anymore. It's been a long, long time.
Because that's another thing. Because that's going to be all of you. You're going to have to be guessing on that one.
Easy. Norah's Sailor Mini Moon and
Sailor Mini Moon.
Wait,
that's adorable sounding.
What's that?
That's Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask's daughter from the future.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Is she like a baby?
She's very, very small.
Oh, okay. Does she have
she goes to preschool. She has powers. She's the next Sailor Moon, but she's from the future, so she's inheriting the mantle of Sailor Moon because Sailor Moon has risen to be the Queen of the Moon, the new Queen Serenity.
Okay, sure.
So, but their world is being destroyed, so she came back in time to find Sailor Moon, and she's taking up the mantle of being Sailor Moon. So Sailor Moon's teaching her how to be Sailor Moon and go back to the future.
That's nuts. Okay, cool. There's so much more.
Yeah, so she'd be Sailor Mini Moon or Sailor Chibiusa.
Oh,
is that in Japanese?
Yeah.
Chibiusa? That's cute.
And Erica's probably either 2 very different characters. She looks most like a Sailor Uranus.
Which is funny because that's my ruling planet.
It is your ruling planet. That's funny.
She's a and also when in the okay, so in the translation from
I know who she is because of this. Okay.
In the translation from Japanese to English, she's the one with the pixie cut that is in a relationship with Sailor Neptune. And
she's the one with the pixie cut.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got her picture right now.
And she is, as far as I am aware.
Oh yeah, Sailor Neptune, significant other.
Yes, they're lesbians, and they're in love. But when they did the translation over, they said they were cousins, and everyone's like, "Why are you getting all in your cousin's business?" But
because they were like, we can't have gay people on TV.
We can have weird cousins.
Yeah, but gay
these cousins.
Welcome to America.
But these cousins hold hand all the time.
And sometimes
your move, Alabama.
Kiss. But in the new one, they did Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yeah.
They're actually they go to a private school and they wear the boys' uniform. And when they aren't in their sailor outfit, they refer to him as a him. And when they're a sailor, they refer to her as a her.
Interesting.
And they're friggin' crazy cool.
Yeah, I was just reading a little bit about them. They're kind of dope.
But they're also really oddly suave and weird. That kind of reminds me of Erica, but kind of doesn't, because Erica's not like, hey, baby. I know that they don't really do that either, but they definitely hit on Sailor Moon and, like, also have a girlfriend. And,
Right.
like, they own, like, a private jet, and they're, like, weird.
The style is out of this world. The fucking checkered slacks on his like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, with the tie, like, oh, they're killing it. It's so
But
dope.
I think Erica's more like Sailor Venus or Sailor Jupiter, depending on what day it is.
Depending on what day it is.
Because Sailor Venus is like, she's like a superhero from a video game, and she thought she was Sailor Moon, and then she like realized she wasn't Sailor Moon, but she's still like is the only other girl with a cat. She's kind of like the pseudo main character.
Okay.
That's like kind of girly and like nice and like really helpful and smart. And then there's Sailor Jupiter, who's like, she's also like kind of feminine, but also a little bit more like she's tall and everyone's like she's like really boy crazy, and but she's like also really fucking strong. She's like probably the strongest physically out of the rest of them, and she doesn't take anyone's shit, and she cooks really well.
Love that.
That sounds more like me.
So probably Sailor Jupiter.
Sailor Jupiter. Okay, that's perfect.
We almost have an entire Sailor Scout team.
Wow.
We do actually. Yeah,
Well, if
you're right.
Rebecca's Sailor Moon, I'm Sailor Mars, you're Sailor Mercury,
Yeah.
you're Sailor Jupiter, and then we have a mini moon. We only need
Like two more.
Venus,
Yeah.
and then Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus.
Oh,
And then the last one that I can never remember because I'm dyslexic.
that's fine. There's 10.
There's as many as there are planets.
So
And then
9.
also moon.
Plus mini moon.
Pluto,
So 10.
yeah, mini moon, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's
There's no sun, is there?
No.
Okay.
The Earth is a tuxedo mask.
Oh, okay. Oh, so then that's all of them.
Yep.
Because the Earth would be the last planet.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Dope.
So, we did Sailor
And done.
What was after that? Dragons?
Yeah, color dragons.
What color of dragon? So this one's weird because this one's specifically D&D.
Nora's a fairy dragon.
Nor would be a fairy.
Aw.
So fairy dragons are this is actually perfect. I was gonna say this if you weren't gonna, so I'm glad we're on the same page. Fairy dragons and Dungeons and Dragons, they're very, very small, and they're like more like pet dragons as opposed to like dragons in D&D are supposed to be like these big sort of like vastly knowledgeable omnipresent entities. They are
Right.
the big man on campus.
Mhm.
A dragon is something that will grow into something insurmountable to the average person, something that is meant to invoke fear or hope, depending, because there are good aligned dragons as much as there are evil aligned dragons. But a fairy dragon is kind of just a creature that is small, like maybe the size of a somewhat large house cat.
Nice.
They're a deep blue and green, but with a variety of
purples.
rainbow speckles all about them. They
Have little wings.
they have little tiny wings. Sometimes they have butterfly wings.
Yeah.
They're
Don't shut that door.
Norah heard we're talking about it. They're very like free spirited and whimsical, and they like to just kind of like do their own thing and
Do you
fly
want
around
rainbow
and
sparkles?
enjoy life. She loves sparkles, so that's a big fan.
Let me see.
You want rainbow sparkles?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh,
Stay right
rainbow
here.
sparkles!
You
Heck
stay right
yeah.
here.
But the other neat thing about fairy dragons as well that I think suits her particularly well
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that like with any child, especially like an adorable child, when they're in your face, you're just like I want to protect this tiny thing with my life.
Yeah.
And
They're
fairy
really
dragons are known for having absurdly high charisma, and also they can like instead of like breathing fire or lightning or ice like other dragons do, they breathe this like gas cloud that just makes you feel happy.
Oh,
It's just the euphoria gas.
she's getting some sparkles.
Rainbow sparkles in her hair. That's real fairy dragon.
Woo!
There you go.
Wow, so cute.
Sorry, it's gonna stink in here, but
I love that.
some rose gold sparkles.
Yeah, little
The
fairy
fairy
dragon.
dragon.
Oh, cute.
They have like big butterfly.
It's on a little
wings.
twig.
Yeah, they're very tiny, so they're like cat-sized.
Sparkle hair.
What do you think of this, Nora?
That was cute.
It
Yeah.
looks cute.
It's a little butterfly dragon. That's you. I think you're that. I think that's you if you were a fantasy creature. Either that or like a unicorn, maybe? Yeah,
She says.
you could be.
Leave it alone, or you're gonna take all the sparkles out.
Oh yeah, you gotta let those sparkles last.
Yeah.
That's a hot commodity.
Nora,
Sparkle
What's up,
hair.
buddy?
what color dragon do you think Mommy is?
Red and black.
Red and
Red and
black?
black? Okay. Those are two of the evil ones.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Black and white dragons live in swamp,
Shocking.
and they like to destroy their environment and
Yeah, I'm gonna
corrupt
go
it.
no on that one.
Red dragons are extremely greedy and vain and believe they are superior to all other living beings. So probably no on those.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Gold dragons are mostly known for having a strong sense of justice. Silver dragons are mostly known for like being explorative. They like to explore the world around them and learn from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Bronze and copper.
yeah, copper. Which one is it? Bronze or copper dragons that like to play pranks.
Probably copper. I think. At least from my recollection.
I think it's copper dragons. Yeah, copper dragons like to play pranks on everybody and be not inquisitive, but they like to test people.
Okay.
They're like pranksters and tricksters. They like to they're the kind of people that they'll fly into a village and then they'll they'll be like, where's the smartest person in the village, and they'll bring them out and they'll be like, okay, I have a riddle, and then if they solve the riddles, they'll dump mountains of treasure on the people in the village and they'll live prosperously, and if they get it wrong, they'll
Release a big fart.
steal a goat or something and be like, this is my new friend now, and they'll take it off. It's like, try again next time.
My goat.
I want to make a TikTok about that where they're just, what is it? They're like, nobody can lay a hand on the Kennedys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Grab a goat.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
That's it.
Oh my god. Bronze dragons are another one. They tend to be curious, inquisitive, and possess a strong sense of justice that prevents them from tolerating any form of cruelty. They hate when people are cruel and unfair. They like to learn from their environment. And then the last one would be brass, bronze.
Copper?
Did we already say copper dragon?
Brass, bronze? I think bronze is the one we didn't do.
That was bronze. That was the last one I just said.
Well, I think we already did. God, I don't know. I'm dyslexic as fuck.
I don't know what you just talked about.
3 metals that aren't silver or gold.
Gold and silver we talked about, yeah.
Brass, bronze, copper.
Brass, bronze, copper.
Did I tell you that? Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
We are actually recording an impromptu podcast.
Nice.
Everybody say hello to Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Paul, everybody.
And Flynn. Hello, Doc.
Flynn, everyone, Flynn.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the dragons are hard to determine which one a person would be. North out of that one, but
I think I'd like to go with the one that plays tricks, but I don't know how often Erica plays tricks.
Not often.
do you have it doesn't even have to because dragon personality profiling yourself like a dragon, they take it to an extreme. It's more than a person could. It's just are you the kind of person that's a little bit more of a prankster or a trickster by nature?
Not usually.
Okay, probably not that.
What the hell did you say about the other two?
Bronze, they're curious and inquisitive. I can no longer check my phone this time.
Oh, I see.
You can use my computer if you want.
That's true. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Mommy, I can't do it.
No, I know. That's because I had you out in the living room, so that wasn't playing over.
What about a pseudo dragon?
Yeah, they're definitely they're a lot more pseudo dragons are weird in the sense they don't really have a particularly defined personality. They're very variable, but also they tend to be more pets or familiars.
Well, that too, but also don't they normally bond with particular people? And
that's true. They do have a close
and they're only as loyal to you as you are to them and the choices you make. And then if you're a cunt to them all the time, they don't listen to you anymore, and then they sting you.
That sounds about right for me.
Sure, yeah, okay. Yeah, I that makes sense. Because the thing is, like the other 5 are like they're kind of too.
They're too
lofty,
extreme and
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, because they're supposed to be like very extreme renditions of the human experience. It's kind of how like you design any fantasy thing. It's just kind of like a human trait, but taken to an absurd level, and then you make it 100 feet long. And that's a
There it is.
I think Nora's like a fairy dragon and Erica's like a pseudo
like a pseudo
dragon.
dragon. Yeah, like she's like a strong bond with something that like shows her the same level of energy that she puts in.
Yeah,
I respect that. That seems pretty good.
Which one was that?
Pseudo dragons.
Pseudo.
They're
Yeah.
tiny. They're dragon-esque. They're little red, like crimson red looking. Oh, they're kind of red and black. So Norah was
Oh,
right.
she was right.
There you go.
And they have like little stingers, and if you're mean to them, they'll stab you, and they have like poison and stuff. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're like this.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm small.
I am small.
you were both tiny.
I think the next one is
Yeah. I don't know.
superpower. Oh,
Oh, nice dropping your tablet, girlie.
Third time today.
No.
Good
That's
thing.
why we have a case on
Good
it.
thing it's got a case. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's real good. The next one was superpowers.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, like this one's hard because you don't watch My Hero Academia, so you can't
Nope.
speak to the specific topic we were talking about. But like, okay, this is just a good philosophical question. You could have any superpower in the world.
I hate this question
What would
so
you
much.
want?
I don't know.
What do you like? Either okay, we can either do two. It's what would you want,
or what do you think
you
you
would
realistically have?
Yeah, like imagine you are a character in a world where superpowers are real.
I wonder-
What about you would make you think you would do a certain thing? We can talk about ours if that makes you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine would be like, I would have the ability to be able to like, if I'm near somebody, I'd be able to help someone perform a task that would otherwise be more difficult.
Okay.
Just by simply like being in close proximity, I could like tap you and like make you more proficient in the task. But it's kind of a random thing.
Okay.
It's sort of a reference to the fact that like 90% of my personality is planning for Dungeons and Dragons. So it's all kind of like a random chance thing, and I could only extend my ability to aid someone if A, it's something that's conceivably possible, and B, if like it gets harder or easier to do based on how proficient we are at the particular task.
Okay.
But like I could help somebody achieve something they otherwise couldn't do alone simply by my presence.
Okay.
And then yours.
Mine was that the first one that I suggested was that depending on how I feel about a situation, I could teleport.
Okay.
Like the moment, like it was based on my anxiety and introversion. That the moment I think like I don't want to be here anymore, I just go home. Nope, I'm out.
Sandy.
You'd be leaving halfway through work every fucking
Yeah,
shift.
like
Halfway. That's
when I went to leave the door, I just be back in my room.
You walk in the door, there's 6 people in line, you are gone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Hey, can I get a? Where'd she go?
Let me get a what the fuck?
Did I blink?
But the other one was that if I'm able to like bond with particular animals, then I can take their shape.
Oh.
Um, I'm like that. That essentially means I can only be dogs, cats, ferrets, fish, or
But-
like potentially a bird.
But it gives you an excuse to run off to the woods and make friends with a wolf.
With a bunch of different animals, so I can take their shapes.
It's like, I have to save the world, so you need to let me go live in the woods.
I need to go see elephants.
Yeah.
So, like,
Because
Yeah, you let me in the secret door in the zoo, or else crime is going to happen, and I'm not going to be
I
there to
choose
help.
violence today.
Yeah,
So you guys thought about this way more than I did, because I was like, my immediate thought was, I want to read minds because I'm a nosy piece of shit.
well, see, but that's the thing is like we had an easier framework with it because like we were basing it off of quirks from My Hero Academia.
which
as
would be
well as
really
like,
freeform.
yeah, they're very, very like specialized, and like all of them have their own strengths and limitations. And the whole point of the series is like learning how to work around your limitations or find new creative ways to implement what you can do. And so they're very like there's lots of like built-in rules to how you can do certain things, and that kind of helps you decide what it would be. You know, there's people that like there's people on that show that is like, I can make fire and ice, and then there's other people that are just like, I can like I can make stuff out of the lipids in my body, but only if I know the exact chemical makeup of that object. And I do a science formula and then pull a lantern
I
out
do
of
a
my
science.
arm.
But also somebody's quirk is like, I have a tail.
Yeah, he's just like, I have a tail, so I can do tail stuff. I can hit people with it. I can bounce on it. I can grab stuff with it.
I can
have a
hang
tail.
by it.
My power is tail.
My power is tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like default to I want to read minds because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think that's perfect.
What do you think Nora's power would be?
What would Nora's
man.
power be?
If you could read minds, what do you think Nora would end up being able to do? I feel like she'd maybe give her an electrical quirk so she could charge her tablet while she watches it.
There you go.
I was thinking time manipulation.
Oh, there you go.
It just popped into my head, and it's kind of on that realm. What if she could? This is another anime deep cut.
Okay.
You know how like in Naruto,
Uh-huh.
when he like makes the clones of himself,
Mhm.
and then when the clones do stuff, when they disappear, all the things they did become a part of the original's collective memory.
Yeah.
So like he can train 100 times faster because he makes 100 clones of himself, and they all do stuff, and then they disappear. And he's like, "Cool, I learned that 100. Like I did that 100 times.
Right.
I know I only did it one
I bet
time."
she would like
That'd
be
be-
able
she
to
could, like-
split.
Yeah, she could like split herself into two people and do different things, and at the end of the day, they come back together, and they're like, "I did both of those."
I did all the things.
Yeah, that'd be her superpower. She could split herself into two,
See,
and like as she gets older, she gets better at it. She can split herself into three. But like the more she splits herself, she gets a little bit wonky. like she splits herself into three, and then one of them is like, I'm just the energy. So they're just like bouncing off the walls, and then one of them's like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel good.
What doesn't feel good?
Oh, your
Oh,
head?
no.
Is it the sparkles?
You have a headache?
Oh,
Oh.
poor thing.
Want some water?
Yeah, you probably need to drink some water.
That
That's-
usually gets rid of my headache.
when I get a headache, it's because I'm not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Also because it's hot in here because
Yeah,
we've been
that's
cooped
right.
up doing a 4-person podcast.
Yeah, my computer is a.
Oh yeah, hot.
Hot
Okay.
So
Hot.
if we're running like anything graphics intensive, like we played Raft the other night,
Oh sure.
just Raft on my computer puts out about 102 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But you can feel the front glass on that just from the graphics card is
Ooh.
hot ripping.
Yeah, that's yikes.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, the new 5700
You feel better?
XT is not joking around.
Oh,
It's probably just too
wow,
hot.
That's crazy.
Mommy, why my tablet?
Well, you said you didn't feel.
Why is my tablet off?
You said you didn't feel good. I didn't
Excuse
think
me,
you wanted to
ma'am.
watch it.
I did not say I was done with my show.
I said I felt sick. I didn't say I didn't want to watch TV.
Did
Right.
you get your water?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good talk. Good
Yeah.
talk.
Good talk, okay.
Yeah, no, but I was thinking like time manipulation because every time it's like we usually put her to bed around 8 and it's like 8:30 and she's like, yeah, but it's not bedtime yet. And it's like, no, but it definitely is though.
Yeah, but
Bedtime
but
is
that's the
at
thing.
8.
That I feel like that splitting yourself thing would work because then she'd split herself. She'd be like, "Okay, one of me's gonna run around, other one's
Right.
gonna sleep." We'd come back together, and then
Oh,
she's
she
like,
gets
"She's like
rest
on well
and
rested."
play.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it. Oh
Oh,
man,
that's a nightmare.
I
for us.
oh yeah, that's bad for you. It's
Yeah.
great for her.
Huge nightmare.
Yeah, I would personally love that. That would be
She could
amazing.
swim and watch
I would have one of
tablet.
me.
Yeah.
I would make two. I would have two of myself, and I would have one of them literally only sleep. I would never be tired.
Yeah.
That
Never.
would be
Yeah, you
so
just
good.
combine for a minute and then separate again
Right.
and send the
But
other
now
back
you
to bed.
only get the benefits of all the things accomplished at the end when you come back together.
Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah.
you still have to regroup at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sleep for a
exactly.
minute.
But that's fine. It's like I could go on a 24-hour bender and just work
Yeah.
on a bunch of
Now,
stuff, and
can
then I
you-
go back and I'm like, I'm good.
Can you regroup individually?
Like if I had
Say
more
you
than
have
two
you
of
have
me.
5 clones. Can clone 1 go
Ooh.
sleep while clone 2, 3, 4, and 5 do
Regroup.
things?
I feel like that
And
might
then
make you way more
one
tired.
one comes and regroups with the sleep and then goes off to do a task, and then 2 takes a nap and comes back to
I feel like at that point you have to every time you learn how to make a new clone, like every time your abilities develop, that's the point where you're like, okay, now I have to figure out new ways that I can interact with this.
Mhm.
Like this is a new experience and I can be creative with this. How do I efficiently budget my time?
Well, also
you know what?
'cause-
I want this to be my superpower.
No, it's already Nora.
I
I changed my mind. I want this.
No, this is
This
Nora's
is great.
power. Well, I feel like if you had 5 of you, one of you sleeping, and then 4 of you were doing things.
Sure.
It's like if 2 of them combined, like one of them would have to go with the sleeping one,
Right.
but then the other two would still be just as tired as they were.
Yeah.
You all have to combine with the one that's sleeping to get the sleep effect, and then split back up, and then someone's gonna go back
Oh,
to sleep.
sure. Okay,
Okay,
that
yeah, I
seems
get you.
that's
I get you.
reasonable.
Because you don't get the effects of what the others are doing
Until you come back.
until you're together.
But also, like,
Only
do
the
you-
bonded ones
do- if-
get the
But that's the
effects
thing.
from each other?
Does
Yeah.
the fatigue compound though? Because that's where it becomes more
Probably.
complicated. Yeah, that's what
Like,
I'm saying.
I'm assuming the sleep.
Five
you-
ones get tired 5 times as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying there has to be some sort of drawback. Like, the more you split, the more it's like, okay, we're very limited in how we can do this.
I can only
That's why I'm
function
saying
for 4
one of
hours.
them
and then-
literally has to just sleep for 24 hours. That way you can do like 8 hours of intensive work with the other 3, come back together, and you're like, okay, that balances.
But you're also ignoring the fact that they're all 5 of them are you.
Right.
Do any of them want to sleep?
The answer is no.
Me? Absolutely.
The answer with her, no.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
One of them wants to sleep. Actually, all of them probably want to sleep, but
Right,
I'm
yeah.
going to have to force
Yeah,
the other
they're
ones.
going to start a little civil war over who
Yeah.
gets to do the nap time
Oh, I
tonight.
think that's a
You're gonna
problem.
end up like
Who gets to be
freaking
nap
twice.
That's literally a character in My Hero Academia. You're right. Yeah, he eventually went kind of crazy because he forgot which one was the real one, and then they all started fighting over which one was the real one.
Okay.
And then all of them but one killed each other, and then he was left alive. And then he's like, "Wait a minute, I don't remember if I'm the real one or not." But the clones, if they took too much physical damage, they would just fall apart. So at that point, he's just like, "Oh no." If anyone hits me too hard, I may disappear forever. And he just
If I'm the
goes through the
clone.
rest of his life realizing I don't know if I'm actually a real person, and I won't find out until I'm dead.
That's
And I could die, like if I trip and fall and hit my face on the ground too hard, I may just explode. And so he like kind of went crazy, and he has to like wear a mask because if he sees his face in the mirror, he just kind of sees duplicates of himself
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
goes like has a panic attack.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's move.
So yeah, okay, maybe there's upsides and downsides.
Right.
Yes.
There's drawbacks.
Keep the numbers small. Try
Yeah.
to be nice to
2
your
or
clients.
3
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the same
2.
time.
I'd say max 5.
Yeah.
5. Holy shit.
One of them's got to go do a spa day. Like,
Yeah.
like you really got to pamper them. Like just you got to rotate things. Like everybody, no rebellion.
You sleep on
no
Monday, you
betrayal.
sleep on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
here just enjoying our
Yeah,
lives.
there needs to be a schedule of who gets to be the real Axie clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to just like make sure we civilly come together.
Absolutely.
Like me, listen to me. We're gonna at the end of 24 hours we get back together.
This may be the best
You want to pick a
superpower.
superpower? Okay.
This may be the best superpower.
After the discussion about the last superpower. Okay.
Like, this got intense.
Yeah.
So now all that's left is talking about the astrological charts.
Okay.
Yes. Last but not least, we have to talk about yours and Nora's.
Yeah. So anybody that didn't leave a guess for Nora's astrological sign,
I think I may have accidentally said it at one point.
I think she-
so they
I
may
You
have-
did, but it was well after we told them to put the timestamp in there.
Yeah, it's
so.
true. It's true.
Should have already guessed.
yeah,
Yeah, she is a little fireball. that
she is
one.
an Aries
Absolutely an Aries.
for her for her sun.
Yep.
Her moon is in Gemini,
Which is Paul.
which is fall.
Oh, you're also a Gemini?
He's a Gemini,
Interesting.
yeah.
And
So
then her rising is what the hell was it? I
Was
think
it
it's
a Capricorn?
is it Capricorn or I think it's Capricorn. I
I think
think
it
I'm
was Capricorn.
whipping it with my
Ascendant. Oh, no, Ascendant's in Sagittarius.
Sagittarius,
She's a Sagittarius.
which is the same as my
Rising.
ascending.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. What does that mean?
Well, we have a little snippet. I had a blurb on my phone.
Oh, but now your phone's
But now my
dead.
phone's dead, so I don't.
Well, say if
Whoopsie.
you want to Google stuff on that computer, just shake them out.
Here,
Oh,
I have the ascendant and everything right here.
Oh, we read?
Okay.
Yeah. So we want to do the Ascendant
It's
first.
all the way at the bottom of the page and the other two at
Yeah,
the top.
that's
So
a
we're
good
doing
idea.
ascending first.
Okay.
So, as we had talked about in the previous podcast, the rising sign or the ascendant sign is like it's the vehicle by which your sun sign interacts with the world.
Okay.
So, like we know she's an Aries.
Your sun sign is like who you are outwardly.
Yeah, this is
The
the
people you know.
face you present to the world.
Right.
What? Yeah, you were
The
doing
moon
it.
sign.
You were doing it. You were doing it. Sorry.
Is who you are on your insides and
Okay.
who you don't really like project very hard.
It's the sign itself.
And then like Ken said, the ascendant is like who you show to strangers.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
also like the way you interact with the way you interact with the world on like a very base level.
Okay.
So someone whose ascendant or rising is in Sagittarius, the world is filled with adventure, new things to experience, and most of all, hope with this ascendant. There's an unmistakable faith and enthusiasm with Sagittarius rising people. Grand schemes, big promises, and a willingness to explore and experiment are themes, although follow through is not a strong characteristic of Sagittarius risings. These individuals are somewhat restless and often active people. They always seem to be looking for something that's just out of grasp, and many do this their entire lives. They can be quite direct at times, yet they're likable enough to forgive for their faux pas. Most have a lot to say and offer. Their insights and opinions are usually interesting and exciting, although sometimes lacking in details. They tend to have opinions on everything, and they just love telling others exactly what those are. Not all people with this position are outgoing folk, but they do have a way of moving about that at least exudes a certain level of confidence. Some might even call them a little naive or overly optimistic. Even the quiet ones don't shrink from life and from experience. One of the most obvious and endearing traits of Sagittarius rising is their willingness to keep up a sense of humor. Even when they're feeling low, they manage to find humor in life and have fun with whatever they do have. Placement of Sagittarius' ruling planet Jupiter will give more clues as to how they go about expressing themselves. A Jupiter in Capricorn, for example, might give a more sarcastic approach, but underneath there's an unmistakable hope and spirit for living. So, very, like, adventurous.
Adventurous and goofy.
Yeah, adventurous, goofy, always has a sense of humor, doesn't really ever know exactly what they're doing. They're kind of just going.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's pretty Norah. Isn't that right, kiddo? Yeah. Yeah. See, there it is.
Smirk.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to smile
We
about
literally
it.
asked her if she liked Ken earlier because she was talking about Ken the entire time in the car on the way here, and all she did was look at him like,
It's like, all right, yeah, dweeb, what are you doing? All right, so her sun sign, obviously, Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and Aries natives are the first to start and the first to finish whatever they set out to do. Aries is an active, energetic sign. People with their sun in Aries are direct, straightforward, and uncomplicated. They expect the same from others and are baffled when they don't always get it. The body comes first with Aries. They tend to be naturally athletic. At the very least, their natural inclination is to use their body to get things done. They're not given to long, drawn-out emotional moments, nor are they big on planning ahead. Instead, they live their lives simply. What's happening right now is most important to Aries. Impatience is a definite vice, and innovation is a huge strength. They love to start anything new, and they have trouble sitting still. They are there you go. They are pioneers in whatever they do, and there's a very basic quality of bravery in these people that's unmistakable. Aries generally know what they want, and they know the quickest route to getting it. They take shortcuts if they have to, but generally everything's above board. Underhanded just isn't their style. Some Aries people are bold, but even the quieter ones are brave and even plucky in their own way. Independence is their birthright. Nothing gets them going more than a fresh slate, the promise of a new day, and a brand new start.
Aries enjoys a challenge.
Oh yeah, Aries enjoys a challenge, and Aries suns are happiest when their lives are moving forward and active. There is a childlike quality to all of Aries sun people, and it's often quite charming. She has a strong personality and an entrepreneurial spirit. Ambitious, self-willed, stubborn, obstinate, and tenacious.
Yeah.
They do sometimes struggle with nervousness, impulsiveness, wastefulness, a provoking nature, being restless, and with changeability. They kind of change themselves too much. And then because she has a Sagittarius ascendant, the combination is fiery, direct, adventurous, and very humorous, very ready to laugh, ready to try something new, and move on after a fall.
Sounds about right.
She's very quick to bounce back. She springs up.
Usually.
Right? Yeah, pretty much, right? She knows. She knows. She's smiling. She knows exactly
I
what's
was going to say the inability to sit still seems to be a thread running through all of these, which...
yeah,
which is the most still she's been all night.
Definitely, yeah, because she's got her. But that's the thing is she has something that's like she's going on an adventure right now.
Yeah. So
she's focused on that. If the adventure goes away, she is somewhere else.
Right.
If the tablet goes down for 5 seconds, she is gone.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that. So lastly is her Gemini moon. which of course, like Hannah had said, the moon is kind of like your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Lunar Geminis are usually pleasant, witty, and charming people. At home and with family, however, they can be moody and irritable at times. People with moons in Gemini are always interesting people. They have a finger in every pie, are curious to a fault, and are generally well-informed. Nervousness and worry are common traits with this lunar position. An underlying restlessness is common, and many lunar Geminis need more stimulation than others. They usually read a lot, talk a lot, and think a lot more than any mutable position of the moon.
All is correct.
Yeah, for sure.
Generally.
Their homes are often a perpetual work in progress. They generally dislike housework, but are big on home improvement. Reorganizing their homes in little and sometimes big ways seems to keep them happy, as lunar Geminis are easily bored by both routine and consistency. Often, this is a reflection of the inner world. The grass is always greener applies here for them. Inwardly, lunar Geminis are often unsettled. Moon and Gemini parents are generally more adept at handling the intellectual needs of their children than emotional ones. Others' complicated emotions in general can be difficult for lunar Geminis to handle. In their families, they often take on the role of organizing get-togethers. They're at their best when they have plenty of things to do beyond routine. Moon and Gemini people almost always have a way with words. They're clever and witty, and more often than not can be found chatting with others. They can be sociable and friendly and feel comfortable in crowds. Some pay too much attention to what everyone else is doing and lose touch with what they really want to do. Generally, lunar Geminis have 1,000,001 projects going. They're impressionable folk, and their imagination is boundless. Their openness to new ideas is admirable, although decisiveness and persistence takes a blow as a result. Still, versatility and adaptability are some of the stronger traits of this position of the moon. When irritable, they can easily become snappy. Their moodiness is complicated, and this is not the same level of moodiness you'll find with water sign moons, for example. Usually, difficult behavior stems from inner restlessness. Lunar Geminis want to do it all and have trouble sticking to any one project. When problems arise, the first instinct of Moon and Gemini natives is to talk things out. Their tendency to analyze can give them the appearance of emotional detachment. In fact, they may be especially comfortable talking about their feelings, but feeling their own feelings doesn't come as easily. Those that don't take time out to really emote and understand their own needs may end up baffling others. Feeling misunderstood is common for Moon and Gemini natives. The only real solution to the problem is learning to get in touch with their own feelings. They tend to have a sharp intellect, like literature, and adapt well to situations and social groups, / work well with the public. But they tend to lack follow-up ideas, be indecisive, and constantly going back on their decisions. Wow, we're learning a lot about you today, Norah. How's your show?
Is it good?
It's like, I'm quiet now.
Yeah.
I'm shy because you're talking directly at
She
me.
goes, I know you're talking to me, so I'm not going to talk to you.
But yeah, wow.
Yeah, the being all up in everybody else's business situation in there.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What are you
it.
doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Thanks,
Why?
What
Why
are you
are you
doing?
doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing
What's
that?
happening? What's happening?
Is that you?
Yeah.
You do that? You do that a lot, Norah? It's okay. I get it. I like to know a lot of things going on around
Miss
me, too.
Nosy over here.
Miss Nosy.
Because I sprayed the glitter hairspray in her hair. It smells bad.
What does that smell like?
I do it on couch.
She tooted on the couch.
Yeah.
She tooted on the couch.
That's what it is.
There you go.
I thought
That's
it was
why it
hairspray.
smells
You really
hairspray and farts.
you really just went and outed yourself.
The
on that one.
combo.
That's the old lady smell.
The old one, too.
It also could be she just came from Grandma's house and they washed those clothes, so
Oh, fair.
could also be that.
So Erica has her sun in Aquarius, her moon
Oh, yeah.
in Capricorn,
Mhm.
and what the heck is your rising?
Somewhere.
We went past it by a lot.
There it is.
Yeah, her
Taurus.
rising is in Taurus.
Taurus. Oh, nice.
That's the same as me.
My
Oh,
favorite.
really?
Oh no, mine is my moon. Sorry,
Yeah,
mine.
you're a Taurus moon.
Mine is
I have the
something
same one as
else.
Norah. I have the same one as somebody, and it's Norah.
Somebody somewhere.
We're gonna
So
start
we'll
with
start
the-
with the rising first. So this is for Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you feel like this fits you.
Okay.
Since you can react a little bit better than
Yes,
Norah.
I
can react
will.
far
Because
from-
you're you.
Yeah.
So for Taurus rising people, slow, steady, and capable are adjectives we can safely attach to individuals born with a Taurus ascendant. These natives have tremendous stamina and starting power. They're often quite loyal to those they care about. Although they generally don't come on strong, they have personal presence and they have fairly reliable stability. The sign on the ascendant generally reveals how people start anything new. Taurus, by nature, is resistant to change. It can be difficult to sway Taurus rising natives. They're often rather stubborn and fixed in their ways.
Why are you smiling like that?
Because he's reading you for filth at this present moment in time.
I was going to say, you'll have to react and tell them how true it is.
Absolutely.
You live with me, so.
Their first responses are to feel things out, not in the way a Pisces might attune to their environment, but in the realm of the five senses. They have well-developed sense of smell and touch and respond to the material world. This is a practical approach to life. Security is one of their foremost considerations before undertaking anything new. Taurus rising natives are often quite cautious and careful. With a fixed sign on the ascendant, they are not known for their flexibility. Rather, they possess determined single-mindedness. More than most, Taurus risings prefer the good things in life. Self-indulgence can be a weakness for many with this ascendant. Often collectors in some way, Taurus rising natives place a lot of value on their material possessions. Taurus rising individuals prefer to dress in quality clothes with a comfortable feel to them. They are rarely ostentatious in their presentation. Many have strong and sturdy physiques. Often rather possessive in partnership, these natives won't easily break up their relationships. Although they're not particularly jealous, they view their partners as their personal property.
Paul.
Nice.
There we go.
Nodding.
And there it is.
Intensity and loyalty are especially important to Taurus rising natives. These are highly sensual people who prefer the comforts that a one-to-one stable partnership offers. Although Taurus rising individuals value harmony and calm, their partnerships may tend to be more passionate. Taurus rising natives are often very comforting to be around. They have a stability about them that is soothing and an inner harmony that people find attractive.
That's fair.
There's a lot of really nice things about it. They have a lot of. They have a
That
lot.
was pretty
I thought
nice.
this one said I like this one a lot. They have a lot of nice things to say about Taurus. It's nothing personal. I just think they're right.
I'm property.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen,
I'm an object.
they just treat you like they're probably like that is my person.
The only thing that not.
You have a sign up there
I
that
was just gonna
says
say,
you're
we
my
We
person.
literally have a sign on the mantle that says you're
That's
my person.
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like,
But, like,
that's it.
Did Erica
So-
buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Weird. I
Whoa,
did the
it's-
decorating at this house.
It's covered in hearts, but take all that away and
Yeah.
you're my person.
The heart is just to throw you off.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to make it look sweet.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I don't particularly think is true, and you can refute this point if you think it's true.
Wrong.
I don't feel like I'm much of a collector. I don't put a lot of.
Yeah, that stood out too.
Looks at all
Yeah.
the glitter over there.
Well, I mean, that came as a set for most of it, so like I'm not collecting it. And, like,
So like they said something about like viewing your personal possessions as like putting a lot of stock in your personal possessions, which I feel like you've got a delineation between personal possessions and like those are considered like tools,
Right.
like for makeup and
Right.
for nails
Yeah.
and stuff. And, like,
Yeah. And maybe that's just some other aspect of one of the other signs taking it over. But like, it seems like instead of necessarily just having personal possessions for personal possessions' sake, you do tend to collect certain things, but it has to have a practical application.
right? Yeah, it has to have a purpose.
There's a practicality that goes along
Yeah.
with your
And then, like,
treasures.
the fancy schmancy clothes. I'm literally sitting here in a knobber t-shirt.
But that's the thing, is it said that it was like fancy clothes that aren't necessarily ostentatious. Like it's all
Doesn't have to
about
be named
like
brand.
style
Yeah, it
plus
said-
comfort
It
merged.
said quality clothes in a comfortable
Yeah.
sense.
You don't want something made out of wool if it's comfy. It's like it's still kind of itchy. Like
Taurus is all about comfort. It's
Which is why you're super picky about your Stitch Fixes, because
That's
they're
true.
all quality clothes, but they're not all comfortable.
Right.
Mhm.
That's fair.
yeah, I get it. That makes perfect sense to me. All right, so the Aquarius sun. This is your face. One of the standout characteristics of those born under the sun sign of Aquarius is the unwillingness to follow the beaten track. With advancement and progress on their mind, there can be an interference to or an irreverence to old and outdated ways of thinking and doing things. Many Aquarians aim to free themselves of personal and social conditioning. Although open to change in theory, they can be surprisingly stubborn. Their idealism runs strong, but they can be very fixed in their opinions. often a bit aloof and even standoffish.
Don't you laugh at that.
Often a bit aloof and even standoffish, Aquarians nonetheless are usually well-liked. They're curious and observant and tolerant in a broad sense. Prejudice and bias is offensive to the typical Aquarius. They're generally very clever, witty, and intellectual. They value progress and frankness. It's difficult to throw Aquarius for a loop. They're generally on top of things. There's a bit of a reformer in Aquarius. They'll try to get you to see through superficiality and encourage you to be open and forthright. Be true to yourself and don't follow the crowd are mottos we easily associate with the sign. Aquarians need space and value personal freedom. Any attempt to box them in will likely fail. They'll happily return the favor, and they will treat people from all walks of life as equals. Equality and fairness are hallmarks of the sign. If you're quirky and different, even better. They tend to be independent, autonomous, and have progressive ideas. But your weaknesses are that you tend to be unusual. You have an unusual, rebellious, and revolutionary spirit. And that's specific to the Aquarians with a Taurus ascendant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are kind of like your own strengths and weaknesses.
What? Just that one.
Which one?
Stubborn.
Being stubborn?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the, what was it? The, something about my own opinions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, being stubborn about your own opinions.
Yeah.
That's the Taurus aspect of like the very grounded, like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
No, I'm right.
Yeah.
Trust me on this, I'm right.
That's why none of the women in our family can argue.
Because here's the thing, because I'm a Taurus sun. So do you do that thing where like you're having a discussion with someone and like they like offer an opinion or they say something and you're like absolutely certain that they're wrong and you're right, and your first response is maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
I do that shit all the time.
Maybe, but also no.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds like
I
me in your
think you
life.
might be right. I haven't checked, but like I'm pretty sure, which is just code word for you are so wrong.
You are so wrong, but I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I really want to be nice
There
to
was
you.
an instance with me and you yesterday where that happened. It
Oh,
was,
yeah?
It was when you washed my work hat.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay.
I had my work hat in the hamper.
Okay.
And he went to go do the laundry, and I said, "Is my hat in the hamper?" And he says, "Yes." And I said, "Can you put it on the chair?" And he didn't do it, and he just went. And
I put it directly in the laundry. She must have said.
I
you,
did.
You said, "Can you put it in the chair?" And I went laundry basket, and then I did the laundry.
And then the next day, I'm like, "Where is my hat? It's not on the chair." And he goes, "It's in the laundry." And I'm like, "Why is it in the laundry? I told you to put it on the chair." And he goes, "No, I swear, you told me to wash it." And I'm like, "I
That
didn't
is not at all what I
say to
said.
wash it. I said, put it on the chair." And he goes, "No, I swear, you said," and I was like, "It's funny, because I wouldn't have told you to do that. Because when you wash it, it changes its shape, and it's weird on my head, and it hurts. So there's no way in hell I told you to do that. And it's so funny that you remember it the wrong way."
I was like, "Oh, that's pretty
That
sure."
sounds like a lot of arguments
Yeah.
we've had.
But the thing is,
Only a couple.
But we both have Taurus in our astrological signs.
You should look up yours.
But that's the interesting thing with her sign and how like it interacts with us is that like usually I'll be like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but she also like she's got a Taurus placement and anxiety. So she's never going to say she's right unless she knows she's right. So when she
And
says
even if
she's
I know
right,
I'm right. Sometimes I don't do it just because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight
when
you.
she says
I'm
she's
not gonna
right,
bother.
she is right. That's a fact.
That's
However, the Taurus in me will then go, I don't know if that's exactly how that went in my head because I can't tell her she's wrong.
right.
I know she's not wrong. I just need to find a way to also kind of be right.
Right.
Because otherwise I'm lost.
I know she's not wrong, but I also can't be wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Right. That's
So
really,
we're gonna fight about it.
that's really what it is. It's so funny.
But back onto Erica's chart.
Anyway, a Capricorn moon for you. Being useful and productive are basic needs for lunar Capricorns. Because they generally keep their emotions under check, Moon and Capricorn people come across as competent people. However turbulent their emotions may be under the surface, they keep cool heads and they come across as steady and reliable people. The position of the moon suggests a desire for clear boundaries and realistic goals. Not much for taking risks in life. They look for safety and security in most everything they do. Most of them respect authority and tradition, and many are planning well ahead of the rest of us. You likely won't have to remind them to protect their interests, plan for old age, or keep fallback money in their bank accounts. These things just come naturally to them. Calm, cool, and collected. 3 words sum up Moon and Capricorn natives well. Messy emotions and leaky souls are a bit frightening for most with this position of the Moon. Truth is, they can have plenty of mood swings and some dark emotions now and again. Lunar Capricorns are often hard on themselves and would benefit from letting their guard down once in a while. They quickly garner reputations of being mountains of strength, and they easily hide their sensitivity behind a sarcastic manner. You may have read that Moon and Capricorn natives are a bit cold and calculating. The fact is, they're unlikely to be any less emotional than the other 11 positions of the Moon. They simply aren't comfortable letting go when it comes to emotions. They keep their emotions under control. Wherever they're found in the chart, there's a desire for structure and control. Capricorn being the sign of organization and efficient management. So, when the Moon is found in the sign, the world of emotions are well managed and handled in an efficient and practical manner. At the heart of lunar Capricorns is a powerful need to feel worthwhile in the real world. There's a basic need for respectability and a big attachment to the world of the senses. Lunar Capricorns put a lot of value in all things tangible and real. And, perhaps more than anything, they need to be respected by others in order to feel secure. They tend to be reserved and cautious, attracted to politics, selective, earthy. Success comes by means of others who recognize their qualities. Their potential issues are they tend to save far more than they enjoy. They have lots of material worries.
Ding, ding, ding.
They put a lot of restrictions on themselves, and they tend not to let themselves get carried away by love.
Carried away.
You tend not to let. You tend to be like, I gotta keep it cool. I gotta keep it.
Here.
Yeah.
Literally
Gotta
what
keep
you
it
said
cool.
when we met.
What?
Keep it cool, like it's not.
This isn't gonna be a thing, and
Yeah.
then it became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're like, oh no, I gotta keep my emotions in check. I gotta make sure like we're at a good level, and then it's not, and you're like, oh, okay, I planned for that. Yeah.
Yep, this was the thing I wanted.
Yep. I was ready for this. We're here now.
This.
It's super great, but like,
Wow, you wanted it to be a thing, because I also came around to deciding I wanted it to be a thing.
yeah.
Also, I have a 6-page letter about this that I wrote out
Yep.
months ago.
There it is. Yep, I'm ready.
I sunk your battleship there.
Yeah. You didn't know that I actually totally outsmarted you. I've been playing
Right.
4D chess this whole time. Like,
Haha, gotcha. Kinda. Do you remember what time you were born?
I just asked my mother. 4:12 a.m.
4:12 a.m.
Wow.
4:12
we're gonna do the chart up
Poor
here.
mother.
We always could.
Yeah.
Did you want to do it on this episode?
Yeah, sure.
We can do it. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Then that's what we'll do. We'll call this another very
We'll do a
successful
bonus Paul.
episode. Yeah, we're gonna do a bonus Paul chart to end. This kind of turned into a little more of a Zodiac episode. I'm not upset about that.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a Norica and Erica reprise until Paul showed up, and now we're doing a quick Paul.
A quick ball.
Quick Paul!
What's
Oh,
the
He doesn't like a quick ball.
feel like an efficient ball.
Okay, so
How long has it been already?
Oh, we're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
I need your birthday.
6/3/87.
So
June
6,
3rd.
Ha!
3.
You came out the same year that Princess Bride did.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
What time did you say?
4:12 a.m.
It is a very good movie. So you should be proud.
And I want to ask where, but I also want to put all of your information on the internet.
Oh, it's Melrose, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Melrose.
MELROSE.
R-O-S-E.
Scotland. No, not Scotland.
Massachusetts.
We wish.
There it is. Boop. Okay.
Alrighty.
And that's latitude and longitude. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's see what we got. You are a Gemini.
You have a Leo moon.
You have a Leo moon. Oh boy. What's the rising? I'm excited.
2 fire signs under one house.
Oh no. Taurus.
And a Taurus ascendant.
Yeah. You both have a Taurus ascendant. That's cool.
Maybe that's why we get along.
So we actually don't even necessarily need to reread this one since it's exactly the same as the one for her. You're
Slow, steady, capable.
Yeah, loyal to the ones you care about. You care about comfort. You're resistant to change. You prefer the good things in life, and you have a determined single-mindedness. You find a thing that you want to do, and you just do that.
Quality clothes,
You
very
mean
comfortable.
The soap company we started in like a week?
Yeah, like the soap company. Oh, yeah, the soap company we will be tagging in the description of this video.
No,
By the
We
way,
already talked about the soap company for a little bit.
yeah, like I said, they have lavender soap. You need to treat yourself. That's the best
It
thing.
smells really good.
Make me take more naps.
Especially, while we're on the topic, especially if you're a Taurus, because Tauruses tend to like lavender.
So do we all have a Taurus sign?
We all have a Taurus placement. Yeah. I mean, is Norah?
Norah
doesn't.
No, she was a Capricorn.
But she is cusp because she's born on the
very first day.
Yeah, she's born on the last day.
She's the very last moment, basically, of Aries.
Yeah,
she's
because
like
when you gave
Taurus.
the original birth time, we first typed it in. We typed in the original time, and it said she was a Taurus. But when we typed in the previous one, which was like earlier,
the same day, but a little earlier in the day, it was now she's an Aries.
Because I think it's based on time zones is when it split. So I think that it's like she literally is like in the final moments of Aries. So she would be what's considered a cusp. She has elements of both. Yeah.
She's literally within hours of being a different time.
Yes.
And it's funny because this one is his sun sign for Gemini, and it's the same as me.
Yeah. Gemini, this was another one that we already, we didn't do it on this one.
Nope.
So we'll read it now. With the sun in Gemini, the urge for self-expression is strong. These natives are often just as interested in collecting information as they are in sharing it. Curious to a fault, they tend to have a finger in every pie. Solar Geminis are flexible and changeable people. Their ability to adapt quickly to new situations generally gains them plenty of friends and social contacts. Usually quite clever and witty, they enjoy intellectual conversation and are easily bored if they're not getting enough mental stimulation. There it is. Often quite adept at fitting in with others, they easily adopt the moods of those around them. They're friends to people from all walks of life and are not easily intimidated. Their ability to detach themselves can make Geminis very objective and observant, but a little difficult to get close to. Although they often have many friends, intimacy doesn't come as easily to solar Geminis. It can be difficult to know what Gemini really feels at any given moment. They are often very impressionable and scattered. There's usually a nervous air to Gemini that can make more personal characters a little uneasy. It's not always intuitive to trust Gemini to be loyal or keep secrets. Gemini often flit about, moving quickly and keeping busy every step of the way. Many people with this position of the sun have gained quite a bit of knowledge in their lifetime, but they don't often possess specialized knowledge. This is because Gemini have relatively short attention span.
Yeah.
Restlessness is especially common with this position of the sun.
I was saying all of this so far is like spot on, hit the nail on the head, all of it. And he's over here making faces like, don't like this.
Usually quite affable, they enjoy the light side of life. This tendency to take things lightly makes them quite pleasing to be around, but it can be maddening to people seeking support on the deeper issues in life. Geminis are both interesting and interested. Their wit can be dazzling, and their changeability dizzying. At the very least, they will seldom bore you. They're opportunists that can express themselves easily and tend to learn quickly. They're welcoming, gentle, like to travel, and like work that is intellectual. Their weakness is that they tend to have a very changeable and diffuse nature. They may waste energy by taking on too many things at once and lack persistence in achieving their set goals. When paired with an ascendant Taurus, they also tend to be friendly, have a curious demeanor that they use to hide a reflective, soul-searching inner character.
What do you have to say about all that?
I made this picture and I don't like it.
Report to Facebook.
Yeah. So, last but not least, we have your moon, kind of your inner self, which is in Leo.
The only person with a Leo.
Yeah, the only Leo.
Dad.
Right.
I'm in this room.
Your dad is Leo, that's right.
It's like Dad and cheese are both Leos, so.
So dependent on the Leo spice. I'm sorry, Emily, if you're listening to this podcast.
I'm not.
Depending on other positions in the chart, Moon in Leo people are not necessarily outgoing. When they feel comfortable, they do like being the center of attention. That is, they like being in the spotlight in the comfort of their own homes and with family and friends. They enjoy entertaining others and often take on the role of the comic. Lunar Leos often feel a need to organize and even control their family and friends. They have an inner mission to set things right and generally like to oversee the goings-on of their little circle. This is a rather creative position of the moon. At the very least, Moon and Leo people want to create and entertain. They can be rather lazy at times, and a little bossy too. Generally, though, they have a deep need to treat others fairly and justly. Lunar Leos require lots and lots of love and care in order to function well in the world. When they feel slighted, they can tend to be dramatic in their emotional displays. When they're... There it is. When their pride has been hurt, they are given to big scenes and skulking. Or sulking. This rarely happens in public, however. Lunar Leos are far too concerned about their image to make splashy scenes outside of the comfort of their own home. In public, they prefer to take things in dignified ways. Oh no.
Get out of my face!
At home, however, they're given to big displays of emotional drama. These scenes generally don't last too long, however. They're often personally popular folk who are valued for their integrity and their strong sense of justice. Generally, it's easy to reason with them. Appealing to their well-developed sense of fairness usually works well. They tend to be brave, knowing how to take risks and possessing the courage of their convictions, honest, imposing, and sharp. They have a great sense of and respect for justice, as well as an organizational sense. They have selectivity with their friends, but they're not overly influenced by them, and they have a taste for splendor. Potential issues, they tend to have changing and numerous affections, emotionally demanding, and tend to be very proud, and when the attention is not forthcoming, they tend to brood. I feel like maybe we may have read Everville.
Hence all the laughing.
See, this is why this podcast has low-key become a personality profile podcast.
Right.
Because, like, there's so much of this is just, like...
So intriguing.
Yeah, and it really does kind of, like, it's so weird how something that's basically just, like...
Where the planets were when you were born.
Yeah, connected to an arbitrary time and place and sense of time and place can somehow, like, capture such important elements of you. It's so weird. That's the neat thing about this and other personality profile things is, like, none of these know you.
Right.
Like, they don't know who you are. They don't care. It's just, this is
who you are.
Yeah. Myers-Briggs does it really well, too.
Yeah, we found out Nora's Myers-Briggs
Personality.
Personality. Just by guessing.
Yeah, she's an adventurer.
She's the entertainer.
Yeah, she's the entertainer.
Yep, she's the goofball.
Did you guys do the Enneagram one too? The numbers?
Oh no, we haven't done that.
Oh no, we haven't done that. We
had a set list of things we were going over for the podcast, and then we cut it off at that because generally it gets you to about 2 hours.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, we've hit a little bit over our 2 hour mark. So I think that's probably it for
at
this
least till
episode,
next
right?
time.
Yeah,
This was fun.
Yeah, this was neat. It kind of turned into a little
side family.
Yeah, a little family guest episode. So we'll probably, I don't know if we're going to commit to this, so don't roast us in the comments if not, but we're probably going to double drop this.
Yeah, since it's a matching episode with the one from before.
It's our first step. It's our first set of episodes for 2021. We're off of a 1 month long hiatus, so I feel like maybe we'll just give you a little 2-for-1 treat. You will already know this by the time you hear it because you'll be listening to it. But yeah, we have a bunch more projects waiting in the wing. Hannah has a very interesting new series, like she mentioned before, that she's planning on starting up. So expect to hear that one next week. We hope you like that one. It's something she's been working on that I'm very interested in as well. We won't tease it too much because it'll kind of speak for itself, but
more interviews.
It's more interviews, but a little more creative.
Yeah, a little. It'll be. You'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just have to stay tuned.
It's an interview. Be there.
Yeah, we'll just have to stay tuned to more of our future episodes.
But thank you, Paul and Erica and Norah, for being here.
I want to say thank you to all three of our guests, especially you, Miss Norah. Thank you so much for talking on our podcast and telling us all about you.
Can you say you're welcome?
Like that.
Can you say you're welcome?
She goes, I'm tired.
She's getting tired.
Oh, yeah, you looking sleepy, hon.
What do you say when somebody says thank you?
I'm dead.
She goes, I can't, I'm sleeping.
Pretty much. It's like when you get to daycare every morning, she's suddenly asleep.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. So busy.
We're about to go, Norah.
You say bye?
Well, I told
We're not going anywhere. Can you say bye to the podcast?
We're saying
Bye-bye.
goodbye to the people. You were saying goodbye to the people that we're talking to.
Say bye.
Say goodbye.
bye.
Bye, Nora. All right. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we love you dearly.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Catch you next week.